City girls are out in front of us courtside and warming up for the broadcast. I bring in the president of the AFL-CIO, Pat Eiding, who joins me up in the broadcast booth. Pat, what an unbelievable moment to watch unfold. I stand here still with goosebumps when you see that moment occur.
And Joe, that's really that's the essence of what it's all about. You know, these kids that are high school kids that are very talented, we make sure that they hear from us, at, whether it's one-on-one or at the dinner that we have every year with the families and the parents and the players, that they're through the grace of God able to do what many people can't do. And so they come out on this great day, 31 years, as you said, and they put it all out on the floor for such a great cause. And we see that unfold when, we see a lot of beef out there with the union players. And
It's all good and all fun, though, right?
But you know what? We really appreciate the folks come from the media and the alumni, young ladies from the local school, to go out there and put that out there for, again, that same cause. But at the end of that day, no matter what the score is, it's 2 points or 1 point away from final. And a young person that has many issues, but you can tell, enjoy the game, enjoy the fact that there's a ball passed around. And as those big, bulky players stand there and raise that child up to put that last point in the basket, if it don't get you, you can't be human. You can't be human. And you and I on the radio, we talk about so much that, and I had to put a plug in for labor because this is the kind of stuff labor does so unrecognized all the time. They care about people and they put themselves out for people, and this is just a tremendous example.
I know, and I know it's so hard to get the labor community to be willing to put the spotlight on the union community. But Pat, you've heard me say it, I stand in awe of the unconditional commitment that goes into this game, the longevity of the game, the amount of money that is raised by all of the unions that participate, the sizable check that's donated to Blossom Philadelphia, formerly UCP of Philadelphia, the scholarship money that's provided for the participants, and on and on and on.
And the work, Joe, that goes into it is so, this is a great day. And first of all, this team, these kids that are going out how they're girls, they're going to show you a little bit how basketball is played. So it's a great day to be here because it's good basketball. The first game's fun. But the boys and the girls that come out and they literally put their talent out there. But behind the scenes, the folks that, the girls at the Liz O'Neill at the building trades and Wayne and all our people, every one of us that get our face in the paper or we're out here, we have a group of people behind us to do all this great work. And this goes out seamlessly every year because when you come here this day, you don't know the work that went into it. This lady, Allison, is running around crazy to make sure everything's just perfect. It's all for one cause, to make sure that there's money, that these kids can have a better life. And who knows, maybe something better down the road. We never know with the science that's out there. And you and I, we've talked about this before, whether it's this or, a lift a vet. With the elevator constructors, very quietly, for many years, we're putting money together with a little golf outing to help veterans who needed a chair or maybe an elevator, and they did that very quietly. But because we talked about it a little bit finally, they're doing well because they're able to do more work for the vets that they couldn't do before. So there's been a couple other things, and I credit you and your station, but you said it a minute ago, the labor people are just laid back, and they do this because it's the right thing to do. And they don't look for a lot of recognition. And quite honestly, I think folks ought to stop for a minute and pay attention. John Doherty can't be here today because of his personal situations, but so much of John Doherty is invested in this,
I almost could feel him here in the gymnasium.
Absolutely. And in fact, I was fortunate enough to throw the first ball out, and right up to the minute of the game, I was waiting to see if John showed, because if John showed, he deserved to throw that ball up. And, his wife is at McGee, and God bless her, she's coming along, and he's got some other issues. And John keeps plugging, and one of the things he plugs for always is something for somebody else.
All right, well said. We're talking to Pat Eiding, president of the AFL-CIO. We'll break for just a quick second here as the national anthem is being played. Pat, I know you've got a busy afternoon today, and I want to thank you. And I want to send that thank you to you throughout the entire labor community. Now 31 years strong with the All-Star Labor Classic.
Thanks, Joe. We appreciate it.
We'll take a short 30-second break. We'll come back with the starting lineups for the All-Star Labor Classic. Back in a moment. Here live on the campus of the University of the Sciences. A good Sunday afternoon, and welcome in to News Talk 990 across the Jacob Media Radio Network. Today it's the 31st annual All-Star Labor Classic. Special thanks to Pat Eiding, president of the AFL-CIO, who joined us in our opening pregame show to set the stage for you for what's going to unfold today, and behind the microphone calling all of the action. I'm about ready to anoint him the official voice of all of the best basketball that's played in the city of Philadelphia, including the PCL Basketball Championship. Ari Bluestein joining us again here at Courtside for the 31st annual All-Star Labor Classic. Ari, a good Sunday afternoon, brother.
Thank you for that phenomenal introduction, Joe. And it's great to be here at the University of the Sciences down here in West Philadelphia. And, this is going to be a really fun day. And it was a great start to the day, as you mentioned, Joe, with the union versus the media. And then, of course, the big finish at the end with the bucket by the young woman with cerebral palsy. Lifted her up and she scored the winning bucket. And that's really what it's all about today. We are raising funds for charity. And at the same time, we get to see some of the best girls and boys basketball players in the city.
31 years now strong. Over $3 million donated to Now Blossom Philadelphia, formerly UCP. And Ari, I know you were part of the live broadcast and part of the game over the last two seasons. We've got some talent on the floor that are going to play. The girls' game's going to tip off momentarily, followed by the boys' game. All student athletes out here in front of us, talented student athletes who are playing for a worthy cause today, and you'll get an opportunity to call some good basketball. basketball.
Yeah, we certainly are. And you take a look at these girls who are up first and even the boys later. These are seniors who are playing in their final basketball game as high schoolers here. And a lot of them moving on to play Division I basketball and Division II and 3 college basketball as well. On the suburban side, who's wearing the light Carolina blue, you have some really good players. Taylor O'Brien from Plymouth Whitemarsh, she's going to play at Bucknell. Then you have Mackenzie Gardler from Cardinal O'Hara, PCL champion 2 years in a row. She's going to play at Villanova. You have Maura Hendrickson, also from O'Hara. She's going on to play at Drexel University. Kate Connolly from Souderton High School, also going on to play at Drexel University. Then on the city side, I know it's not 100% city. They had to kind of mix some other players in here, but you have some good players. Bridget Archidiacono from Archbishop Wood, Katie May also from Archbishop Wood, a couple of other really good players like Carly Huggard from Little Flower and Celine Toman from St. Hubert's, and then Becca Margolis, the lone representative from Council Rock North. So a lot of really good, talented players, and again, they're playing in what is their final organized game as a high school basketball player.
What an unbelievable way for these great players to go out and to finish up their high school career, and for those players who are going on to play collegiately, it just gives you a real indication of the quality of the individuals who are participating in this game. And I take us back just a year ago to the game that was played at Philadelphia University a year ago, the 30th annual. A couple players that played in that game we watched in the NCAA tournament, certainly, and all of these athletes get an unbelievable experience here this afternoon.
Yeah, they certainly do. And you know, Jefferson, now it's named Jefferson University. It was a great venue, but the University of Sciences has done a great job. What great organization for everybody here at this great university here at Bobby Morgan Arena. Done a great job with the organization of the event. We're staying on schedule, which is great, and we're about to see some really good high school girls basketball between some of the top players, not only in this area, but in the state. We have a state champion as well with Jennifer Krimp from Jenkintown High School, who won the smallest school state championship. So a lot of great accomplished players here stepping foot on this floor here at Bobby Morgan Arena.
Ari Bluestad and Joe Kraus coming to you from the University of Sciences. As Ari said, we get ready for the ceremonial tip to get the girls' game underway. Don't forget the boys' game will follow, as we got an afternoon of basketball across the Jacob Media Radio Network on News Talk 990. We come to you this afternoon, and we're glad to be here. This is one of those events where we're calling a basketball game, and we get the ability to enjoy and to watch and see how everything really unfolds. But it really is the meaning behind the basketball game that makes such a big statement this afternoon.
It really does, as we are underway with the opening tip here, and it is the Suburban Girls in the light Carolina blue against the City Girls in the dark blue. And with it now is number 23, Nia Garrison, and she misses the first shot of the game. Nia Garrison from Monsignor Bonner Archbishop Prendergast High School down in Drexel Hill. And here's a steal by the Suburban Girls team, and that was Maura Conroy from Germantown, Gwynn and Mercy, and she dishes it to Mackenzie Gardler, and Gardler with the first points of the game. The O'Hara player and Villanova commit, so 2-0 Suburban, leading over to City here to start things off here in the opening quarter. With it now is number 14, Nija Moody from New Foundations, and dishes it outside. And here's a long two from Britt James from Abington High School. No good, but the offensive rebound by the City squad. And then a shot thrown up by Moody, no good. And now Gardler comes away with a rebound for the Suburbs. Leads up to her high school teammate, Maura Hendrickson, dishes it right back to Gardler. Her three goes in and out. Offensive rebound put back is good from Nia Garrison from Bonner Prendy. 4-0 Suburbs. And City throws it away as James has her pass stolen by Gardler. She goes inside against Erin Morgan of Archbishop Wood and lays it in for two. So an early 6-0 start for the Suburban squad. City team with the basketball. Into the corner it goes. Down low to number 13, Katie May of Archbishop Wood. A drive and one for Celine Tobin from St. Hubert. And she will get a bucket and a chance for the old-fashioned three-point play as the City team finally on the board here with 6:22 remaining here in the opening quarter here at U Sciences. Celine Tobin out of St. Hubert misses it. Offensive rebound tipped out by Katie May, goes all the way out to Nija Moody. Moody out of New Foundations High School. Morgan, the kick out. That went to Tobin, now into the corner. Here's a three by James off the mark, and Kate Connolly out of Souderton, the Drexel commit, with the defensive rebound. Suburbs the other way. The drive, the kick out. It's a Connolly jumper, top of the key, a little bit short. Rebound gets deflected to the City team, and Britt James. Outlet up ahead, a little bit too far there for Celine Tobin. And picking it up is Maura Conroy out of Gwynedd Mercy. Gardler, the kick out to her high school teammate Hendrickson, who misses the three. Defensive rebound by Katie May of Archbishop Wood. And the good thing is, these girls have played against each other all year, but in a game where this is all about charity, some smiles on the faces of these very competitive players. Katie May, the kick out to Erin Morgan, who spots up for three and drills it. So the Archbishop Wood connection, Katie May to Erin Morgan. And it's a 1-point game, 6-5, Suburbs with the lead and the ball. Hendrickson tried to pass it. It was knocked out of bounds by Nija Moody. So it will stay with the Suburban team, 5:11 remaining here in quarter number one. Kick out outside. Goes to Mackenzie Gardler. Into the corner. Here's a three attempt from Garrison. It's short. Moody with a rebound for the City team. Here they go the other way. Moody now up top to Britt James. James with a good crossover, then a kick out. This is a Moody three. It's a little short. Defensive rebound by Garrison of Bonner Prendy, and Maura Hendrickson the other way for the Suburbs. Kicks it to Connolly, her future Drexel Dragon teammate. Now Gardler to Connolly, who airballs a baby jumper. Offensive rebound, Gardler, and Hendrickson drills the three off the pass from Gardler. 4-point lead, 9-5. Suburbs over to City. City team with the basketball in the dark blue. Nija Moody. Nice little pick and roll, but the pass attempted to Celine Tobin was knocked out of bounds, and it will stay with the City. Wholesale changes. 10 new players arriving on the floor. For the Suburban team, first time we see Taylor O'Brien, the star from Plymouth Whitemarsh, and Bucknell commit. Molly Massiantonio, Archbishop Carroll player who had a great playoff run and great state run. Number 42, Brianna Cypress from Friends Central. Number 11, Dana D'Ambrosio from Ridley High School, also into the game for the Suburbs. City with the basketball. Number 1, Denisha Wilson from Auden Reed Charter into the game. Bridget Archidiacono, another Archbishop Wood Viking in the game as well. Mackenzie Tinner from Council Rock North High School into the game as the Suburbs have the basketball, and the first jumper taken by D'Ambrosio from Ridley High School is a little bit too strong, and the City with a defensive rebound. Under 4 to play, so just past the midway point of quarter number 1 here in the 31st Annual All-Star Labor Classic at the University of the Sciences. Archidiacono driving baseline. Good pass. Kick out. This goes to number 21, Cheryl Ramold from St. Basil Academy. That one's off the back rim from the top of the key. No good. Offensive rebound by Daniel McCurdy. And the City working it around. Archidiacono into the corner to Wilson. And a little bit of a travel there for Wilson. And we'll go back to the Suburban squad. 9-5. Suburbs with the lead over to City. It's been all Catholic League dominated so far. All 14 points have come from players playing in the PCL. With the PCL being in the City and the Suburbs, they've been split up a little bit between the two squads, as the corner three for the Suburbs taken by Taylor O'Brien is off the mark. Rebound by the City. They're on the run. Nice bounce pass. Archidiacono lays it up and in off the pass from Mackenzie Tinner of Council Rock North. Cuts the lead in half. Suburbs trying to score on the fast break, and they do, as a baby jumper hit and good by Jennifer Kremp of Jenkintown High School into the game for the first time. And as we mentioned, Jenkintown, the Class A small school champion in girls basketball in the state of Pennsylvania. 11-7 is the score. Suburbs with the lead. City with the basketball. We had a foul called on Brianna Cypress out of Friends Central. And it will be an inbound for the City team. Archie Diacono now swings it over onto the wing. The cutter is hit. Ramoldi. Great look backdoor and laid up and in by Bridget Archie Diacono. Her second bucket. She's got 4. And back to a 2-point lead for the Suburbs. Suburbs have led throughout. They've got the basketball. Massey Antonio, step back top of the key, drills it, and it's a 3. Molly Massey Antonio hits it, and Suburbs now up 5, 14-9. Cross-court skip pass, Archie Diacono, and her pass goes to Juliana Gura from St. Basil. And Mackenzie Turner with that offensive rebound put back. Quickly the other way, O'Brien missing the layup. And the City with a rebound. City down 3. $1:40 to go here in the opening quarter of the All-Star Labor Classic. And all alone in the post and not even realizing it was Gura. And now here's a hook shot. Nice move by Mackenzie Turner of CR North. That's a 1-point game. Suburbs with the ball and the lead. $1.50 to go here in the opening quarter. O'Brien hits D'Ambrosio. D'Ambrosio going in, the kick out into the corner. It's a Cypress long 2. Rebound bounced around. Eventually comes to Denisha Wilson out of Auden Reed Charter. Nice job leading the fast break. A couple of passes, and Archie Diacono drops it in. She's got 6, and the City squad with their first lead of the game, 15-14 with a minute to play. Oh, and that is very short-lived, as hanging back door is Jennifer Kremp, dropping it in for 2 off a nice pass. 16-15. Suburbs back in front, under a minute remaining here in the first quarter. Denisha Wilson. Kick out. Ramoldi. Now Archie Diacono, and she tried to pass it into the corner to Wilson. It was knocked out of bounds by Plymouth Whitemarsh Colonial Taylor O'Brien.
36 seconds remaining in the first quarter.
Tinner. Oh, and it's a steal by O'Brien. And she's going to coast in for the layup, but she missed it. Easy, too, and O'Brien probably wants that one back. City with the basketball, down 1. 20 seconds to go here in the first quarter. And that pass underneath is stolen again by Taylor O'Brien on the pass by Archie Diacono. Now going up ahead, and a double dribble is called on Jennifer Kremp, the Jenkintown Drake and Class A state champ. 12.5 seconds remaining here in quarter number 1. City gets the ball back. They are down by 1. Jogging it up the floor is Denisha Wilson. Kicks it into the corner, Archie Diacono. 4 seconds, 3, she drives in. Kick out, Wilson around O'Brien, puts it up at the horn, no good. And that will end the first quarter with the Suburbs leading the City 16-15 here in the 31st Annual All-Star Labor Classic.
All right, Ari, good job in that opening quarter. We'll take a short commercial break. It's the 31st Annual All-Star Labor Classic being presented by the Philadelphia Building Trades as we come to you from the University of the Sciences. We'll take a 30-second break and then join you back here live on News Talk 990 across the Jacob Media Radio Network. On the second level of the Bobby Morgan Arena, along with Ari Bluestein, I'm Joe Kraus, broadcasting you the game live today on News Talk 990, home of the high school sports show, where I shout out to my partner, Rich Henkels, who couldn't be here today, but Ari Bluestein bringing you all of the energized action. Ari, and you get ready for the second quarter. First quarter, a 16-15 lead. These athletes do compete. They come, and we know it's an all-star game and everything else, but they do compete and they do play to win.
Well, you know, the funny thing is the last time I was a part of the Jacob Media Radio Network broadcast was with the Philadelphia Catholic League Championships at the Palestra. Much different atmosphere here today. Same players, a lot of the same players, but much more relaxed. Season's over, states are over, but they're having fun and still have those competitive juices going just a little bit.
All right, all good stuff as the second quarter gets underway. I'll turn the microphone back over to Ari Bluestein. We're going to talk to Wayne Miller from the Philadelphia Building Trades in just a moment. A couple of good guests coming up at halftime. We'll hear from some of the players in the second half as well and set the table for the boys' game, which will follow the girls' game here this afternoon.
Thank you very much, Joe Kraus. And opening 15 seconds of the second quarter, neither team has scored as of yet. Both teams have made some substitutions. We're seeing some new faces here. Alexa Nasons from Germantown Academy coming into the game. And there's a nice rebound for the Suburbs by Nia Garrison. And Garrison drops two. City with the basketball. It's a 3-point lead for the Suburbs. Spin move and lost inside for Kayla Russell out of Archbishop Ryan, who's into the game for the first time. And in transition, the attempted pass to Catherine Polisano out of Germantown Academy as well. The pass was knocked away, but the Suburbs will keep it. Here's Polisano off the inbound jumper short. Rebound by Russell. But taking it right back is Polisano, and she drops it in for two. 4 straight for the Suburbs to start the second quarter. They're up 5, 20-15. And now with the ball are the City squad, and Becca Margulis out of Council Rock North into the game, as is now Mackenzie Tinner. And dropping it in for two. That's actually Danielle McCurdy out of Archbishop Ryan, as there's 2 number 24s, and that's kind of what we get here in the All-Star game. And Turner, who made the shot, got fouled and completes the old-fashioned 3-point play. So 20-18 is your score. Suburbs with the ball and a 2-point lead. Kick into the corner by Maura Conroy. Now swinging it around. Polisano missing the 3. And a good rebound by McCurdy. The Archbishop Ryan ragdown as she steals it away. And we have a jump ball, as tying it up was Alexa Nasons. And Danielle Turner. So the possession arrow was in favor of the Suburbs, so they will get the ball back with 6:23 remaining here in the second quarter. Margulis, the kick out. Check that. That was Conroy, the kick out to Polisano. Nasons dishes it off to Carly Heineman out of Gwynedd Mercy, who is into the game for the first time. Nice little up and under, beautiful move, but Nia Garrison can't finish. Here comes the City the other way. Good ball fake, the drive through traffic, counted, and the foul for Samantha Brusha out of Abington High School. So Samantha Brusha out of Abington, the Galloping Ghosts. She's tied it up at 20 and potentially can give the City the lead, and they do. As she makes the free throw and completes the old-fashioned 3-point play. Second lead of the game for the City squad as they're up 21-20. Opening couple of minutes of the second quarter. Polisano, the kick out. This is Maura Conroy. Catherine Polisano, the floater short. Tried to go over top of Danielle McCurdy, and it goes out of bounds. It will stay with the Suburbs. Last touched by Turner. Oh, and the inbounds pass goes over the head of Maura Conroy, and it goes out of bounds right near midcourt. And it will go back to the City squad with 5:42 remaining here in quarter number 2. City with the basketball. Danielle McCurdy dishes it off to her fellow Archbishop Ryan Ragdoll, Kayla Russell. McCurdy looking for Russell again as she drove in, tried to drop it down low on the right block, but it goes out of bounds, and it will go back to the Suburban All-Stars. 31st Annual All-Star Labor Classic live from the University of the Sciences Bobby Morgan Arena. Thank you for joining us here across the Jacob Media Radio Network. Nice spin move and dropping it in with a left hand is Alexa Nasons. And here's a kick out. Turner with a 3, and it's off the mark. Rebound gets deflected to Polisano of the Suburbs. Up ahead, and the layup is blocked. Good hustle by Kayla Russell as Carly Heineman attempting that shot. Inbound for the Suburbs. Jumper off the mark for Neesons, and the rebound to Samantha Brusha. City team on the run. And a traveling violation on Danielle McCurdy, lifting up that pivot foot before moving with the basketball. (22-21), Suburbs with a 1-point lead. The drive, the left hand, and the runner is good for Mara Conroy. 24-21 is the score. City the other way, and returning the favor is Becca Margulis out of Council Rock North. Back to a 1-point lead for the Suburbs, and back we go the other way. And that pass is intercepted. Polisano threw it away. Margulis with the steal. Going in over Heineman off the glass, too strong. Got her own rebound. The City will keep it. The kick out outside. Kayla Russell short on the 3. Floorboard picked up by Nia Garrison. And now it's time for our wholesale substitutions. 10 in, 10 out. O'Brien, Gardler, Hendrickson, Connolly, and Cypress all back in for the Suburbs. For the City, James, Moody, Aaron Morgan, Katie May, all back in for the City team, as well as Juliana Gora. And Brianna Cypress with the bucket for the Suburbs, putting the Suburbs back up 3. Drive, and as Gora was falling down, tried to pass it to Morgan, but she lost it out of bounds, and we'll go back to the Suburbs. Past the midway point of quarter number 2, and the Suburbs with a 3-point lead over the City, 26-23. Gardler, an open look from the right wing, drills the 3. And the future Villanova Wildcat with 7 points here in the first half. 6-point advantage for the Suburbs. City team with the basketball. Katie May going down low. Nice little give and go. May with a left-handed runner drops it in. Katie May and the Archbishop Wood Vikings finishing as the runners-up at the PIAA 5A state level, falling short in that state championship game to Mars High School over in the Pittsburgh area. And here's a steal by the City team. They're down 4. On the run is Nija Moody. Off the glass, too strong. Rebound by Taylor O'Brien. And here comes the Suburbs the other way. They have numbers if they hurry. O'Brien pulls up. Baby jumper with the left hand. Hit it. First bucket for the future Bucknell Bison, Taylor O'Brien out of Plymouth Whitemarsh High School. Back to a 6-point lead for the Suburbs, 31-25. O'Brien creating another steal, knocking it away, and Connolly got it. Now O'Brien the other way, and the runner uncontested. No good, falling off the rim to Katie May out of Archbishop Wood. 2.5 to play here in quarter number 2. Cross-court skip pass. Gora Morgan launching the 3 from the left wing off the front rim. No good. Rebound by Mackenzie Gardler. Here she goes the other way. Leaves it for her fellow O'Hara Lion, Hendrickson. And she drills the 10-footer. Hendrickson, her second field goal. She's got 5. 8-point advantage for the Suburbs. Their largest lead of the game. Good pump fake by Nija Moody out of New Foundations. And she gets the runner to go off the glass. Back to a 6-point lead for the Suburbs, under 2 to play till halftime. Gardler, pump fake on the wing, goes in, around Katie May, no good. And the rebound by Gora, but she lost it out of bounds, so it will stay with the Suburban team. Gardler will take the inbound, lobs it up for O'Brien. Back to Gardler, corner 3, short. Floorboard, Juliana Gora out of St. Basil Academy. Gora lobs it, looking for Morgan, but it was deflected out of bounds by a player in the Carolina blue jersey for the Suburbs, so it will stay with the City team. 1:37 remaining here in the second quarter. 33-27 is your score. Suburbs with the lead over the City here in the girls' game of the 31st Annual All-Star Labor Classic, live from the University of the Sciences. Katie May. Inbounds at the Britt James. Tried to get it down low, knocked away, but James got it back. The runner floated with the right hand, airballed it, got her own rebound. Could be a self-pass, but it was not called. And now Gora going in. A couple of pump fakes, falls down. Katie May, one more for her Wood teammate Erin Morgan, who comes up short on the three. And the rebound by Brianna Cypress out of Friends Central. Maura Hendrickson on the run. Good look for Connolly, and she gets the roll. So the two future Drexel Dragons on the floor connecting.
24, Kate Connolly.
First bucket for Connolly out of Saracen High School. 8-point lead, 1 minute remaining here in the second quarter. Suburbs with the lead, City with the basketball. Katie May in the corner, around a screen. Tries the pick and roll, gets it to Gora. The step through off the glass, no good. Cypress with a strong rebound. Hendrickson the other way for the Suburbs, already with an 8-point advantage. And Hendrickson has her pass stolen away. Britt James out of Abington High goes around Cypress, missed on the finger roll. And now the Suburbs get the rebound. Hendrickson inside over Katie May. A little bit too strong. Rebound by Gora. Up ahead to Britt James. She stepped back. Three, right wing, no good. Rebound Connolly. 20 seconds to go here in the second quarter. 8-point lead for the Suburbs, and they've got the ball. O'Brien, good crossover. The runner off the glass, too strong. Got her on rebound, put back, no good. Got it again, and she was fouled this time. And it was not third time's a charm for O'Brien, but she will go to the line for two with 9.4 seconds remaining here in the second quarter. What a great career for Taylor O'Brien, over 1,000 career points at Plymouth Whitemarsh, and she will be playing Division I basketball at a really good mid-major program at Bucknell. Highly recruited. From what I heard, got some high major D1 looks, but decided to go mid-major at the end of the day. 1 of 2 for O'Brien. Missed the first, got the second. Last shot here for the City team before halftime. They're down 9, 36-27. Katie May, step back three, drills it. And with 1 second remaining, O'Brien, her heave, did not get it off and it fell short. So at the half, the Suburbs lead the City team 36-30 here in the 31st annual All-Star Labor Classic here at the University of the Sciences.
All right, halftime here at the University of the Sciences at the Bobby Morgan Arena, the 31st annual All-Star Labor Classic. We'll take a 30-second break and then return to the live broadcast. Wayne Miller from the Philadelphia Building Trades will join us, and we'll learn a lot about the history of this All-Star Labor Classic back in a moment.
Hi, this is Dick.
Classic as we come to you from Bobby Morgan Arena on the campus of the University of the Sciences. Halftime of the girls All-Star game, followed by the boys All-Star game, which will follow this game, and of course the game that was played before the girls All-Stars and before the boys All-Stars. The labor community playing the Philadelphia members of the Philadelphia media, and I bring in Wayne Miller, who joins us here. And of course, the last time I spoke with Wayne Miller across the Jacob Media Radio Network was at the PCL Basketball Championships at the Palestra. We talked about what this event was going to be, and once again, Wayne, I welcome you into the microphone, and you were spot on, dead bullseye. This game, what this means is absolutely incredible.
Exactly, Joe. I mean, we appreciate the athletes helping us to raise money for Blossom. It's a great cause. This year, again, we'll raise $150,000 for the one-day event. But it's more than that. It's our giving back to the community from the Philadelphia Building Trades, and also, as you know, that little traditional thing that we do at the end of the game. One of the clients from UCP end up winning the game for Labor, which Labor plays media. It's a traditional thing, and it makes the children that make that basket a star. And I believe everybody should be a star once in their life, no matter what you do and what walk of life you're in. And it just makes the children so happy to be a part of this, and that makes the whole thing worthwhile for the labor doing
to borrow the musical close of the NCAA basketball championships. One shining moment for that individual today. And Wayne, I had goosebumps last year. I have goosebumps again now, just thinking about and watching it unfold, and everybody here in the arena applauding. Just a real special moment.
You know, it's fantastic, and then that's what this game's about. It's having the athletes help us raise money, but it's for the children and people that have the terrible disease that they have. But the thing is that we want to make it we want to make their lives normal here at this game, and the little boy that was sitting with me, he sits next to me while I coach a team. I'm not much of a coach. I just stand around and talk to everybody. But he is so excited, and everybody high fives him coming off the court. He's the main event for all the players, from the media to the labor guys, and it's what it's all about. And we just love that, and especially with our scholar athletes, which is a great game here. What's the score?
36-30 at halftime, and a lot of good athletes on the floor. A lot of D1 commits out there, and a lot of commits, which is always the case for the All-Star Labor Classic. As I walked into the main area of the gymnasium here at the University of the Sciences, the big boards, Wayne, with the pictures of the history, of this game, going back to the days when this game was played at the Spectrum, to all of the magical moments. It was great to see John Doherty in a lot of those photos. I feel him here today, although he was unable to be here today. Certainly an influential part of it as well.
Let me tell you something. Doc runs it. He's the business manager of Building Trades, and Doc puts all this together. Again, I'm just standing in for him today because he has certain issues that he has to take care of with his family, and which we all understand. And but the thing is, even though he ain't here, everything about this game is his presence. Every jersey that the kids are wearing, every sweatshirt that people have, all the different props, to getting the referees. He does it all. He goes a million miles an hour, and he's really stepped up his game with this, and really making this a great charity, and because there's nothing too much for him, and he does a great job, and he's my man. He's
talking with Wayne Miller from the Philadelphia Building Trades. Halftime of Game 1 of 2 across the Jacob Media Radio Network. Of course, you're listening on News Talk 990, and we're also streaming the game live on Facebook Live. So if you miss any of the action, you'll be able to go back and watch the video. I know a lot of the players who participate in the game love the video link that they get a chance to watch after the fact. Wayne, when we came on the air today at the top of the hour at 1 o'clock, Pat Eiding was here, and I had Pat on the broadcast, and I asked Pat why the union community seemed to be so reluctant to shine the spotlight on an event that might be perhaps one of the best fundraising events in the city of Philadelphia. I truly believe that. When I see all of the different ways that this game impacts so many different people, yet they're standing behind it all, is a labor union community that refuses to put the spotlight on itself.
It's not about us. It's about helping the children and young adults that have a disease, and why should we be in the middle of it? We take care of everything and make sure that we can raise the money, but we don't need to be in there. I mean, the thing is that it's better to be behind the scenes, and again, it's better to give and to receive anything, and we don't need no pats on the back or anything like that. As long as we get help for whatever we can do for these children and young adults, and that's the whole deal, and that's how all of us feel. You know, we don't need to be in the spotlight. The thing is that we do things because we want to do things, and we believe that we should give back. In all walks of life with our members, we make sure our members are taken care of with pensions and health care and have a decent retirement. But we don't go bragging about that, and like this, it's better that we stay in the back, and people know that, you know, we do it, but that's fine. You know, it's better to stay in the back. I mean, we want everything focused on the athletes and the children and young adults that are afflicted with cerebral palsy. And for us to get in there, it means nothing.
Well, if you don't mind me saying, or if you don't mind me doing it, every time I get a big megaphone, I'm going to do it, you know, because I just truly believe that the positive impact and the changing the lives of so many people, many that you'll never know, is just incredible to me.
And the thing is that that's what we're brought into this world to do, Joe. We're brought into this world to take care of people. We were not brought into this world to go against people. We believe in helping everyone, and that's everybody, from every business manager to every business agent to every member of our unions. That's what we feel. And you can see all the union participants, all the members coming out to play. They know they're only going to play 2 or 3 minutes, but it's the tradition of this. It is our charity, Joe. Nobody else's charity, okay? And everything we earn, everything we make goes to the charity. Nobody takes a cut here. None of that stuff, okay? Because that's one thing we're against. We want everything to go to the charity, and then the people that do businesses with the unions, the vendors, and people that work with us, and all the unions support this charity event big time. It's something that we want to do, and again, you know. Everybody wants to give back to someone else that's less fortunate than us. And that's how we look at it.
Wayne Miller joining us here at halftime of game number 1 of 2. We've got a good basketball game going on right now at halftime. Remember, the boys' game will follow. Wayne, I know you got a lot of running around, a lot of hands to shake, but as I let you go, and I say thank you for allowing me to be just play a small role and be a part of the All-Star Labor Classic, I thank you very much, sir. Joe, on behalf of the Delaware Valley, I thank you, and I thank the entire community.
We appreciate everything you do for us. Without having you here, it doesn't get out to everyone else, and it's amazing with the streaming and everything like that. We appreciate it, Joe.
All good stuff. That's Wayne Miller from the Philadelphia Building Trades. We'll take a 30-second break. We'll come back to the University of the Sciences in Bobby Morgan Arena when we come back. The third quarter. Back in a moment. And back here live on News Talk 990. It's the 31st Annual All-Star Labor Classic presented by the Philadelphia Building Trades. Special thanks to Wayne Miller, my halftime guest here on News Talk 990 across the Jacob Media Radio Network. Well rested during halftime. Had a nice cold bottle of water, and he's got the voice back in play as the second half is underway. We go back to the voice of the All-Star Labor Classic and the voice of Philadelphia basketball, Ari Bluestein. Ari?
Thank you very much, Krause. And as we resume play here in the third quarter, the City team with a bucket to start the quarter. So it is now 36-32. It was 36-30 at the half. Real quick, we'll go through the first half scoring, some highlights for the Suburban team. Mackenzie Gardler had 7, Mara Hendrickson had 5, and Nia Garrison had 4. For the City team, 6 points for Bridget Archidiacono, and a lot of players had 3. Mackenzie Tinner had 4, who's back in the game right now. So City with the basketball, and then they steal it. Suburban creating the turnover. Molly Massiantonio out of Archbishop Carroll on the run. And here's a deep three, no good for Alexa Nasons. And a traveling violation called on the City team. And don't forget, coming up, we will have a very special presentation here at midcourt of Bobby Morgan Arena here at U Sciences. And then immediately following that will be the boys All-Star game. So stay tuned for that right here across the Jacob Media Radio Network, as that deep two falls short for Nasons, and now the City team on the run. 6:23 to go here in the third. Not a lot of scoring so far here in the period. And trying to change that is Kayla Russell with her first bucket inside. And it's a 2-point game. Suburbs in the lead. Massiantonio has the ball for the Suburban All-Stars. Going in against Archidiacono, the kick out. And another kick out to Massiantonio in the corner. And her long two is no good. Off the pass from Dana D'Ambrosio. And here comes the City team the other way. They could tie it with a two. Here's a nice good look down low. Kayla Russell with a reverse, no good. And right there to put it back up and in is Bridget Archidiacono with her fourth field goal. She's got 8 to lead all scorers. And we are tied at 36 with 5:38 to go here in the third. Here in the 31st Annual All-Star Labor Classic here in the girls All-Star Game. Three is short for Catherine Polisano out of Germantown Academy. And it grazed the front rim and it trickles out of bounds. And it will go back to the City. And here's a deep two from the corner for Tinner, which is off the mark. Suburbs with the rebound. The pass up ahead, not able to be handled by Nasons. She gets the ball back after a mad scramble for it, and now the layup is no good, missed by D'Ambrosio out of Ridley High School. Tied at 36, and then the transition pass is stolen away by Jennifer Krimp out of Jenkintown for the Suburb team, and she lays it up and in, going around the big center for the City team, Mackenzie Tinner. 6 points now for Krimp, and Suburbs back in front by 2, 38-36. Kayla Russell, the runner, with a left hand off the glass. Her second field goal, both coming here in the second half. She's got 4. We're tied back up at 38, 4.5 to play here in the third quarter. Massiantonio driving in, splitting the D, and she was fouled on a strong drive as she was fouled by Bridget Archidiacono out of Archbishop Wood. So Molly Massiantonio, who hit an early three-pointer in the first quarter, will go to the line for 2. Massiantonio missing the first. Molly Massiantonio really had a strong year for the Archbishop Carroll Patriots. They lost in the semifinals to the Newman Goretti Saints on a buzzer-beating 3 from Newman Goretti. And then Archbishop Carroll used that momentum of a great PCL playoffs into the state tournament, where they advanced to the state semifinal at the 5A level. Lost in the semifinals, but a great run by Massiantonio and the Archbishop Carroll Patriots. 1 of 2, by the way, for Massiantonio. She missed the first, made the second. And the City team went back the other way, and the Suburbs stole the ball. And now we have a foul in transition, and it will stay with the Suburbs. But before the Suburbs will get the ball back, wholesale substitutions, 10 in, 10 out. For the Suburbs, back in, it's Gardler, Connolly, Heineman, Conroy, and Garrison. For the City team, Brusha, Margolis, McCurdy, Gora, and Morgan back in. Net runner no good by Conroy out of Gwynedd Mercy Academy. City with a rebound. They're down by 1. Midway point of the third quarter. Up and under no good by Gora. Good interior defense by Carly Heineman, also out of Gwynedd Mercy. Gardler on the run. The kick out. Conroy lines up a 3 off the mark. Rebound was had by Margolis, but it was knocked away by Garrison. And now a 3 by Gardler is off the mark, and Garrison committing the foul on the rebound. So we'll go back to the City All-Stars with 3:43 to play in the third quarter. City down 1, 39-38. Suburbs had a 6-point lead at the half. Reverse layup no good for Danielle McCurdy. Rebound by Kate Connolly. Conroy. Now to Heineman. The Gwynedd Mercy teammates trying to do a little two-man game, but Gora coming up with the steal. She had other ideas. And Juliana Gora out of St. Basil Academy getting the steal, trying to go in for the layup, and then she was fouled by Heinemann. So that will send Juliana Gora to the line for two. St. Basil out of District 1, the St. Basil Academy located in Jenkintown, right outside of Fox Chase in northeast Philadelphia. And first free throw is no good for Gora. St. Basil always a solid competitor out of District 1 in the mid-level PIAA classifications. 1 of 2 for Gora. She is now on the board. Missed the first, got the second, and we are tied at 39. So quite a few ties here in the second and third quarter. 3:10 remaining here in the third. Heinemann finds Nia Garrison, who drills the three, top of the key. 7 now for Garrison. She breaks the tie. Suburbs up 3. Good pump fake by McCurdy. She goes in and missed the layup. Look, everything looked good except the finish, and Connolly clears the glass for the Suburbs. Gardler, fake on the 3. Garrison, she's going to launch it from the corner. And Nia Garrison, back-to-back triples. Garrison out of Monsignor Bonner, Archbishop Pendergrast High School. Quickly, the Suburbs back up to a 6-point advantage. Running layup no good from McCurdy. Rebound, Gardler on the run. Hits Connolly on the baseline. Step back, baseline jumper short. Aaron Morgan might have got a piece of it. City comes away with the rebound. Gora up ahead to Morgan. Going in through the lane around Gardler and missed the layup. But Gardler saved it before it went out of bounds, but it went right to Samantha Brusha out of Abington High School, and she drops it in. In transition, the spin move, turnaround, no good for Nia Garrison. Rebound by Gora of the City team. 45-41, Suburbs up 4. Gora with the drive in transition. Went around the defender, was fouled, missed the layup, but she's going to go back to the line for 2 more. Heinemann committing the foul again for the Suburban team. 1:57 remaining here in the third quarter. City down by 4, 45-41. Suburbs have led for a majority of this game. And Gora gets the roll on the first free throw. 45-42 is now the score. City down 3 with a chance to cut into the lead a little bit more. Could not get the roll on the second. Rebound by Connolly. On the run, here's Maura Conroy. Back outside, a little bit low for Connolly, but she's able to pick it up. Now dribbling to her right at the corner. Entry pass Garrison, turnaround left-handed hook, partially blocked by Danielle McCurdy. Suburbs keep it. Connolly, the pump fake at the wing, steps in, deep 2, or a mid-range 2, I should say, and she hits it from about 12 feet away. Connolly's second bucket, she's got 4. Suburbs up 5. Quick 3 by Becca Margulis of the City team. And now they get the ball back after Margulis missed it. Got the offensive rebound. She's going to have another opportunity. Missed it again. And skying for the rebound was Maura Conroy. Conroy on the run for the Suburban team. Connolly, one more. Stepping into a 3 is Carly Heinemann. It's off the front rim, but the long floorboard comes out to Mackenzie Gardler. Goes into the lane. Kick out. It's another 3 from Garrison. This one is off the mark. And the rebound by Samantha Brusha. Under a minute remaining here in the third. Gora going in, blocked by Connolly. Connolly at 6'1" with some length, blocks the shot. Suburbs the other way. Layup no good for Nia Garrison. Got her own rebound. Count it, and the foul as she was fouled and hit the deck. Nia Garrison, who had 4 points in the first half, already with 8 points all here in the third quarter. So with 42.4 seconds remaining, Nia Garrison at the line for 1 for the old-fashioned 3-point play. Suburbs have a 7-point lead, and Nia Garrison has scored 8 of her team's 10 points over the last 2 minutes, make it 9 of her last 11. And it's an 8-point advantage for the Suburban team, 50-42. Deep 3 taken from the wing, and it's an air ball. And the rebound, though, saved by Juliana Gura. Good hustle. Now slipping behind the D and dropping it in inside the lane is Samantha Brusha, and she was the one who missed that deep three a moment ago. 20 seconds remain here in the third, and a good drive by Maura Conroy, who drops it in off the glass with the left hand. 12 seconds remaining here in the third. City ball, they're down 8. Gora had it knocked away, steal by the Suburbs. 5 seconds to go. Gardler into the front court, and we have a foul. No shot attempt by Conroy. A foul as Gardler was racing up the floor. So the clock is stopped at 2.7 seconds remaining here in the third. Suburbs leading 52-44. Inbound here. Garrison looking. Finds Gardler in the corner. Takes a three, and it's off the mark. And that'll do it for the third quarter. So we're through 3 quarters of play here in the Girls All-Star Labor Classic. And the Suburbs with an 8-point lead.
All right, good work by Ari Bluestein. 1 quarter to go in the Girls Classic Basketball Championship here today, or the All-Star Game, rather. It's the 31st Annual All-Star Labor Classic across the Jacob Media Radio Network, all presented proudly by the Philadelphia Building Trades. Back in a moment. Live at Bobby Morgan Arena on the Jacob Media Radio Network here on News Talk 990. We thank everybody for tuning in. It's the 31st Annual All-Star Labor Classic. Coming up a little bit later on in the broadcast, a very, very large check presentation, which will go to Blossom Philadelphia, which is what this game is all about. Pretty good basketball game, Ari, in the first the girls' game. Of course, the boys' game to follow, but the good basketball game. Both teams competing hard today.
Yeah, certainly. And again, it's more of a relaxed atmosphere here at U Sciences. And all-star games are fun, especially after the season is completed. But both teams are hustling. They're trying to drive and draw the contact, and very entertaining game thus far as we head into the fourth quarter here. Just about 40 seconds into the fourth, neither team has scored. Both teams have made a little bit of substitutions as we start the fourth, and now in transition, we have a foul call as Dana D'Ambrosio drove in, and she was fouled by Katie May of Archbishop Wood and the City team. So at the line is Dana D'Ambrosio, the lone Ridley High School representative, and she gets the first one to drop. Suburbs up 9, 53-44. They have led after every quarter of play thus far. City with a couple of ties, couple of minor lead changes, but for the most part, the Suburban All-Stars have been in control, as they are now up by 10, 54-44, and I believe this is our first double-digit lead of the game. City team with the basketball. Cheryl Ramoldi out of St. Basil with it. Now over to Nija Moody out of New Foundations. Katie May, top of the key, has her pass knocked away and stolen by D'Ambrosio. In transition, Taylor O'Brien with the left hand off the glass, and it's good. And O'Brien now with 5, and it's a 12-point lead for the Suburbs. City team with the basketball. Britt James over to Cheryl Ramoldi. Ramoldi around the D, and it's stolen. O'Brien saves it, but back to Ramoldi. Katie May for 3 for the City team, and it just barely grazes the front rim and goes out of bounds. And a little bit of a smirk there from Katie May, who's had a phenomenal career at Archbishop Wood, and she will be playing college basketball as well as many of these other young student athletes on the floor right now. Great look down low as Hendrickson drops it in for 2 off a laser of a pass from D'Ambrosio. 58-44, and it was not too long ago at the end of the third that this game was tied at 39. And the City missing a layup. That was Grimaldi on the miss. O'Brien back the other way for the up ahead. O'Brien goes in, fouled hard, and she misses the layup, but she will go to the line for two after the foul committed by Britt James. So Taylor O'Brien, 1 of 2 from the line so far today, will go back to the line for two. 5 in, 5 out for the City team. We're going to change it up and change their fortune a little bit. O'Brien. Made the first. She will have one more. And got the bounce. So Taylor O'Brien, who had 3 points at the half, has 6 points here in the second for a total of 9. It's an 18-point advantage for the Suburbs, 62-44. Here's a three for the City team off the mark for Samantha Bruscia. Offensive rebound by Denisha Wilson out of Auden Reed Charter. The running floating shot no good. Offensive rebound and her putback is no good for Kayla Russell. And clearing the glass for the Suburbs finally is Brianna Cypress. Into the corner, it's a Jennifer Kremp three, a little bit short. And chasing down the rebound is Erin Morgan out of Archbishop Wood for the City team. Into the corner, this is Mackenzie Tinner. No good on the deep two. And the rebound by Mara Hendrickson out of Cardinal O'Hara. And her pass up ahead intended for Kremp is knocked out of bounds by Erin Morgan. So 4:38 remaining here in the fourth quarter. Here's a lob inside, wide open underneath, and dropping it in for two is Dana D'Ambrosio. Her first field goal, she's got 4. 20-point lead for the Suburbs, 4.5 to play. And here's another three, Bruscia. Off the mark, Kremp with a rebound. Jennifer Kremp, the Jenkintown Drake and Class A state champ, finds Taylor O'Brien down low, and she drops it in again. And a 22-point lead for the Suburbs, and with that, a quick substitution timeout. Suburbs getting 5 new players onto the floor. Catherine Polisano, Molly Messi-Antonio, Alexa Nasons, Nia Garrison, and Carly Heineman, all coming back into the game for the Suburbs with a comfortable 22-point advantage here in the fourth quarter. Step back three for Denisha Wilson is off the rim and no good. Messi-Antonio with a rebound for the Suburbs. Up ahead to Carly Heineman out of Gwynedd Mercy Academy. And here's a three, and it's short for Nia Garrison out of Bonner Prendy. Rebound by Mackenzie Tinner. Wilson through traffic, lays it up and in. First bucket for Denisha Wilson out of Auden Reed Charter out of the Philadelphia Public League. Messi-Antonio into the corner. Heineman for 3, off the mark, no good. Rebound bounced around, and the kick out. Suburbs will keep it. Polisano, the runner, got it to drop. 68-46, Suburbs still up 22 as Denisha Wilson splits the D but missed the layup. Suburbs coming back the other way. Messi-Antonio in rhythm for 3, off the mark. Floorboard picked up by Alexa Nasons, and she puts it up and off the rim, no good. Rebound by the City team, and Kayla Russell out of Archbishop Ryan splits the D, goes in, draws the contact. And she missed the shot, but she will go to the line for 2. Foul on Alexa Nasons. So Kayla Russell to the line for 2. The Archbishop Ryan Ragdoll. More substitutions for the City team. Returning to the lineup is Becca Margulis, Richard Archidiacono, Juliana Gora, and Danielle McCurdy. No good on the first free throw for Russell. She will have one more. And should she make it, it looks like Katie May is ready to come back into the game as a substitution for her. Russell makes the second, and with that, she will exit and makes way for Katie May. 68-47. Suburbs with the 21-point advantage here in the 31st Annual All-Star Labor Classic here at the University of the Sciences Bobby Morgan Arena. Coming up next will be the Boys All-Star Game, so don't you go anywhere here across the Jacob Media Radio Network. That shot was no good for Massey Antonio of the Suburbs, and then the City trying to fast break, but the pass is a little bit too far for Katie May, and it goes out of bounds, and it will be Suburban All-Star Basketball. 2.5 remaining in this one. And as our producer Joe Kraus mentioned a moment ago, don't go anywhere. We've got a great Czech presentation coming up here on 990 AM, as well as streaming on Facebook Live. So make sure you stay tuned right here across the Jacob Media Radio Network upon the conclusion of this girls' all-star game here at U Sciences. Just over 2 minutes remaining here in the fourth quarter. Suburbs with the basketball, still holding on to a 21-point lead. Spin move, dish down, Massey Antonio fouled, couldn't get it to drop. A nice move by Catherine Polisano out of Germantown Academy. So it will be Molly Massey Antonio back to the line.
The 21, Molly Massey Antonio at the line.
And she makes the first. Massey Antonio now with 5 points. Great year for Archbishop Carroll and Massey Antonio. She's got both. 70-47 is the score. And this game was pretty close in the first 3 quarters. Suburbs led 16-15 at the end of the first, 36-30 at the end of the second, and then about 2 minutes left to go in the third. It was tied at 39, and that's when Nia Garrison and Bonner Prendy hit 2 threes, and then the Suburbs just went off and running from there. Suburbs get the ball back with $1:38 remaining here in the quarter, and the City team steals it back. That was Danielle McCurdy out of Archbishop Ryan. Becca Margulis with it. Bounce pass to Juliana Gora, and she throws it away. Catherine Polisano with the steal. On the run, Heineman, good look. Massey Antonio lays it up and in. 72-47, 1:15 remaining. Margulis off the mark on the 3 for the City team. Massey Antonio, the rebound. The outlet is a little bit too far for Polisano, and it goes out of bounds with just over a minute remaining. Coming across the timeline is Becca Margulis for the City team. Katie May. This is Gora. Into the post, Archidiacono. And got the... No, she didn't get the roll. That hung up there for what seemed like a century. Suburban team the other way. Nason's into the corner. It's a Heineman 2. Rebound deflected, and the City team has it. 30 seconds to go. Gora had her shot blocked by Massey Antonio. Loose ball picked up at the midcourt circle by Margulis. Archidiacono. The kick out, Katie May. 15 seconds now remain. City team of the ball down a bunch. Archidiacono, 3 from the left wing, short. Massey Antonio with a rebound. Across the timeline, up ahead, it's Polisano, goes in through traffic, 1, and there's the buzzer, and it ends with a Margulis block. But getting the last laugh is the Suburban team as they defeat the City team 72-47 in a fourth quarter in which the City team only scored 3 points and the Suburbs just ran away with it. And this concludes the first half of our doubleheader here at U Sciences as part of the 31st Annual All-Star Labor Classic.
All right, well done. Good job, Ari Bluestein, behind the microphone, bringing you all of the play-by-play and all of the action of the 31st Annual All-Star Labor Classic, all presented by the Philadelphia Building Trades. Stay right here on News Talk 990 as we're going to bring you the boys All-Star Game as well. As Ari had mentioned, we have a very, very, very large check presentation that's going to be presented by the Philadelphia Building Trades. It's what this game is all about. It's the 31st Annual All-Star Labor Classic. We'll take a 3-minute break and pay some bills and then come back to the University of the Sciences in the Bobby Morgan Arena. Back in a moment. Media Radio Network. You're listening to the 31st Annual All-Star Labor Classic, all presented by the Philadelphia Building Trades, as we bring you the live action from the University of the Sciences. The girls' All-Star game is now complete. The boys' game will follow. Pretty good afternoon of basketball. A lot of good players and a lot of good talent competing for what will be a check presentation this afternoon in the amount of $150,000, which represent 100% of the proceeds raised from the 2018 All-Star Labor Classic. The check, of course, will be presented on behalf of Blossom Philadelphia and to Blossom Philadelphia, formerly UCP. So what a spectacular day. It's the 31st annual, as we've mentioned on this broadcast, and for all of the competing student athletes who participate in this All-Star game, meaningful and very, very powerful. $150,000 being donated to Blossom Philadelphia. I want to recognize John Doherty, business manager of the Philadelphia Building and Construction Trades Council, Pat Eiding, the president of the Philadelphia Council of the AFL-CIO, Wayne Miller, the business manager of Sprinkler Fitters Local Union 692, and the retired business manager of the Philadelphia Building and Construction Trades Council, Pat Gillespie, all continuing to be part of what is a spectacular day and what has been a spectacular day here so far at the University of the Sciences. While the boys get ready to play, we're going to try and get some of the girl all-star athletes up into the broadcast booth to talk with Ari Bluestein. While we do that, we'll take a 60-second break and return. You're listening to the 31st Annual All-Star Labor Classic on News Talk 990. Back in a moment. The Jacob Media Radio Network, broadcasting, of course, on News Talk 990. The girls' all-star game in the books. Down at half court is the presentation of the check. $150,000 raised. All of the proceeds raised from this incredible event being donated to Blossom Philadelphia. What an incredible job done by the entire union community, and what an incredible job done by Wayne Miller, John Doherty, Pat Eiding, Pat Gillespie, and just everyone involved who gets together on an annual basis. Again, I think it's the most powerful fundraising event in the city of Philadelphia, 31 years strong, and that check being presented today for $150,000. The girls' game now in the books. The boys' game will be getting started soon, and of course we'll have all of the action for you right here live on News Talk 990. We want to pay some bills. We thank everybody for tuning in while they take care of the check presentation. We'll take a final commercial break here as we are in between games, between the girls' game and the boys' game. When we come back, we'll start to set the stage for the city and the suburban boys all-stars. As that game will get underway, should be high-flying and a lot of excitement. You're listening to the 31st Annual All-Star Labor Classic as we come to you across the Jacob Media Radio Network. Back in a moment. Classic. And the girls' game in the books, the boys' game getting set to begin. Ari Bluestein will be bringing you all of the play-by-play. Good first game. Ari got away at the very end, but that opening half, it was close, and these student athletes certainly come out to play. And a great presentation this afternoon, $150,000 check being presented, what it's all about.
Well, that is certainly what it's all about. And, the girls' game was a very interesting game. It was tied at 39 with about 2 or 3 minutes remaining in the third quarter, and that's when the Suburban team just broke it open. Garrison had a couple of big threes, and that was it from there. So the final score really does not tell you the type of competition that was going on in the game. And now we've got the boys' game coming up, and you've got some phenomenal players, potentially Division I players as well. And, this is really going to be a fun game to watch. I mean, you have a lot of really good players. You've got state champions, you've got city champions, Catholic League, suburbs, public league. Really, it's going to be a lot of fun. And you know what the good thing is about the boys' game? You've got some high-flying dunkers like Ajiri Johnson out of Bonner Prendy and Ed Croswell out of St. Joseph's Prep. It's going to be a lot of fun. I think once the game starts, you're going to have a lot of fun on some fast break opportunities.
The amazing thing about this game, and again, it's all about that. It's all about the money that's raised and the check that's being presented. But the amazing thing about it, Ari, is that these student athletes, or these athletes that are here to play hard. I mean, as you said, the season's over and it's long overdue. But these student athletes are here to play, and they're here to play hard. And as you said, should be a high-flying game this afternoon as the boys are on the court warming up. We're about 5-6 minutes away from tip-off.
Yeah, and we have a man in the booth now who has seen these players play all year long, and I'm talking about Aaron Ace Carter out of the Philadelphia Inquirer, who survived playing in the media game. So before we get into this game coming up, Ace, I want to welcome you in, and you got to play in that media game versus the Union team. You've done it, for the last few years. Talk about that game and what it's like to be a part of the 31st annual All-Star Labor Classic.
Well, I'm not actually sure I survived. I'll let you know in the morning when I wake up tomorrow.
I will say, Ari, this. He hit a deep three ball at the buzzer to go into the half. I don't remember if they counted the three, but a good look at you counted the three. All right, good stuff.
Well, it's great that you took part in it, in the game, and now you've got an all-star game here featuring some really good players, and it's great to see some of these great players come out. We're talking about players like Ajiri Johnson from Bonner Prendy, Alan Betrand from Roman Catholic, Sam Sessoms from the Shipley School. I see a lot of other Catholic League players as well. I think it's going to be a lot of fun to see these guys play in a relaxed, fun atmosphere.
Yeah, it'll be a little bit different than the structure of high school basketball when you have coaches trying to direct you and direct all the action. But I expect to see a high-flying game. I don't expect to see a whole lot of defense. One young fellow in particular I'm interested to see is Jake Wilson. Looks like he's warming up. Bonner Prendy senior. Hasn't been able to play in his Bonner Prendy career. I wrote about him a few years ago. He has Marfan syndrome. It looks like he's warming up now. He's a high flyer. He's probably about 6'8", 6'9", probably 180 pounds soaking wet. But it's great to see him out there running around.
Yeah, that's really great. And you see a guy like that coming into this game, and again, you have the great players that we talked about, and I think this is going to be a lot of fun. I mean, you're expecting not a lot of defense. Can we get to triple digits today? What do you think?
I'd be disappointed if we didn't.
That's great. And you got a chance to watch the girls' game a little bit, and you had a lot of great talent on the floor from the Philadelphia Catholic League, from Suburban One, a little bit from the Philadelphia Public League, and that, the great thing about girls basketball, they always get a lot of great family support, and you could see them up here. We had a great turnout for the girls' game, and even though it was a meaningless game, great turnout, and a lot of people cheering on the girls.
Yeah, I think so often we talk about Philly high school basketball. Our minds go to the boys' side and how talented and the guys that are coming out. Tony Carr is going to come out in the NBA draft. A few years ago, he was at Roman Catholic, but on the girls' side, it's a lot of talented players out there, and it's great to see all the support that they've gotten today and throughout the season.
Yeah, it certainly is. And along with Aaron Ace Carter, I'm Ari Bluestein, our producer Joe Kraus, and Ace will hang out with us for a little bit here in the first half, and we'll have some special guests coming in and out as well. And we're about 2 minutes away from the start of the boys' game here, Joe Kraus, here at U Sciences.
All right.
right, all good stuff, Ari. It's the 31st Annual All-Star Labor Classic. And again, I keep going back to that check presentation amount, $150,000, representing 100% of the proceeds that are generated from this basketball game today. All good stuff as we bring you the 31st Annual All-Star Labor Classic here this afternoon on News Talk 990 across the Jacob Media Radio Network. We will take a 90-second commercial break and come back with the start and the tip of the boys All-Star game back in a moment.
Back here across the Jacob Media Radio Network. I'm Ari Bluestein. Thank you for joining us here as we get set for the boys game. And before we start talking about the boys, I wanted to bring in one of the stars from the girls All-Star game, and it's Plymouth Whitemarsh senior Taylor O'Brien. Taylor, thanks for joining us here on air here on 990 AM.
No problem.
So you got to play in the girls game, and it was really, I guess, your last game as a high school player. How great was that to get to play with some players that you played against all year?
It was just great to see everybody who was giving their all and playing their best when we were all working together and everything.
We're going to take a quick time out here during the national anthem, and when we come back, we will pick up our conversation here with Taylor O'Brien. Back in a moment. And welcome back to the University of the Sciences live here for the 31st annual All-Star Labor Classic. I'm Ari Bluestein, and the boys All-Star game about to begin, but we'll pick up with our special guest here in the booth, Taylor O'Brien out of Plymouth White Marsh High School. And Taylor, thank you again for joining me, and I know that you really had a chance to reflect on playing in this game, but you had a phenomenal career at PW. Over 1,000 points, right? 2,000 points. Oh, I'm sorry, I shorted you 1,000, my goodness. And you'll be going on, I believe, to play at Bucknell,
yes.
right? I mean, are you excited to play some Division I basketball?
I'm so excited. Just to have this opportunity is an amazing opportunity, and everybody was supporting me throughout all of my years, and everybody just wanted to see our whole team succeed and me succeed, which is awesome.
And the cool thing is about today's game, you played against players that you played against all year, played with some players that you played with all year. Once you get to the next level, a lot of the faces we saw on the floor, you might be seeing them a little bit in basketball. Is that exciting to continue to compete against the players you play here in high school? And I'm sure you've played in a lot of all-star games as well. Where does an event like this, where you raise $150,000 for United Cerebral Palsy, where does this kind of fit into all the games you played in your high school career?
I mean, it's just surreal. Like, everybody just is I can't even explain it.
Now, did you get a chance to see the media versus the Union game at all, and get to see the finish to that game? They had a moment where they lifted up a young girl with cerebral palsy, and she made the game-winning basket. I think that's what this game is all about, right?
It is all about that. It's just about the support for everybody and all of the supporters and all of the people and parents that came and watched our games and took the time out of their day and to come and support us. This is what it's all about.
Well, and that is what it's all about. But at the same time, it's good to get a win. And your team, the Suburban team, pulled away at the end of the third quarter and in the fourth quarter. You had a lot of great steals, a lot of great layups. I'm sure, again, it's an all-star game. It's all about the charity, but it's got to feel good to win, right?
It is.
Well, Taylor O'Brien out of Plymouth White Marsh High School joining us here across the Jacob Media Radio Network. I'll let you get back to your family. Enjoy the game. Thanks so much for taking 5 minutes out of your time to talk to us.
Thank you.
Taylor O'Brien out of Plymouth White Marsh High School headed to Bucknell as I bring in Aaron Ace Carter yet again here across the Jacob Media Radio Network. And the great thing is Taylor O'Brien and all these other student athletes, they know what this game's all about. Yes, it's a basketball game, but it's all about the charity in the end.
Yeah, absolutely. I was just talking to somebody before, and I was lucky enough to be able to play in this game back in 1998. I forget where it was. I'm really old. My memory's not what it used to be. But it's just a great. Anytime you can be involved in charitable work, just whether it's directly or indirectly, it's just such a gratifying thing. And to see the people that are here and see the smiles on their faces, to be able to bring some joy to them for a couple hours, just to come out and watch a basketball game, the sport we all love. It's great.
So we're here in 2018. It's the 31st annual. You played in 1998. So if my math's correct, the 11th annual All-Star Labor Classic? Does that sound about right?
I think you're wrong. I'm only 25. I don't know what you're talking about.
Well, it's great to have you along here as the boys' rosters were just announced. And, Ace Carter from the Philadelphia Inquirer joining us here in the booth. I'm Ari Bluestein. Thank you again for joining us here live from the Bobby Morgan Arena on the campus of the University of the Sciences. And you see some of these players announced. These are players that you've followed, and you follow them for basically their entire careers. I know you said you were very excited to see Jake Wilson. Any other players in particular that you're really excited to see here one last time here in the All-Star Labor Classic?
Oh man, how much time do you have? I'm watching.
We've got a couple of hours here, Ace.
Alan Beachman walking out right now from Rome, and I remember Alan when he was at Samuel Fells as a sophomore. I went to go see him play. I was just impressed by his overall game, and I think throughout his career in Philadelphia, he's been underrated, always been overshadowed by guys that maybe put up more points. But I think what Alan does and what he's done his entire career is do things that don't necessarily show up in the stat sheet. In addition to, being a scorer, being a driver, and a slasher. When he was at Fells, he was actually a really good mid-range shooter. And I think he does some intangible things, defensive rebound, getting deflections, just being a vocal leader out there on the court. So he's definitely a kid that I've enjoyed watching through the last 3 or 4 years. Yeah,
a couple other players for me as we resume play here, and we're off and running as Sam Sessoms for the city team missing the layup. A couple players like Karan Randolph, we watched him develop at Haverford School, and as the opening bucket made there by the City team as they lead it 2-0. Very fast-paced game as the aforementioned Randolph missing the three. How about Ed Croswell for the City team getting the rebound? He's another guy who transitioned from Mass Civics and Sciences now to St. Joe's Prep and now to LaSalle University.
Yeah, Eddie's game has grown so much since he was at MCNS. I think he was there as a freshman and a sophomore. Wound up at St. Joe's Prep, and Speedy Morris in that program really just took his game to another level. I see he's
and right on cue, he dunks the basketball. Love that.
Absolutely. Yeah, I was just about to say it's something that he added to his game. A little more athletic, slimmed down a little bit. Footwork has always been there. It's been fun to watch him play.
So 4-0 City as Andrew Funk of Archbishop Wood missing the three, but the offensive rebound put back no good by Ajiri Johnson. And Johnson's another guy who really came on the scene last year. He's going to play at Rider University next year. What an electrifying athletic big man for the Bonner Prendy Friars.
Yeah, Ajiri Johnson he'd dunk on you just as soon as look at you. And he's one of the guys that gets up the quickest I've ever seen in years in covering high school basketball and college basketball when I covered it. He just has springs for legs.
And the suburban team in the blue jerseys finally on the board as Sam Sessoms out of the Shipley School makes the bucket, and here's a three, and it's good for Mason Williams out of Penn Charter. And it's good to see some of these Interact players and the Friends League players come in and play in this game. We mentioned Sessoms and we mentioned Mason Williams as the attempted steal there, foul called on Ed Croswell of the City. Sessoms, I believe, is playing at Binghamton, if I'm correct. You know, he's a guy small in stature, but I have a feeling he's going to have a real chance to dominate a low-level major type of team in Division I like the America East Conference.
Yeah, he's one of those guys that I haven't gotten to see play a whole lot because I didn't cover the Friends School, but I watched early in the season. They played Archbishop Carroll. It was a game I wanted to see, but he got hurt and didn't play in that one. But his game, what I know of him and his reputation, he can flat out fill it up as we see him go in and try to lay it up.
Oh, and he missed the layup and the follow-up slam from Ajiri Johnson. I have a feeling that's one of many here for Johnson. We already had a missed dunk, though, today from Justin Anderson of Carroll. This is a three from Kyle Thompson. And Kyle Thompson out of St. Joe's Prep. His father, Michael Thompson, played at Drexel, and this is a guy, he's small in stature, just like Sessoms, but he's another guy who really has the ability to score the basketball.
Yeah, Kyle can flat out fill it up on all three levels, from deep, from the mid-range. He can get to the basket. He's just a smooth basketball player.
Now, Ajiri Johnson just attempted a three from the top of the key. His coach, Jack Concannon, is in the building. I didn't see Ajiri Johnson take a jump shot from more than 15 feet all year. Maybe he's trying to show Ryder that he's got a little bit of range.
You know, it's funny. I saw Jerry shoot 1-3 early in the season this year, and that was the last one.
Oh, he's taking another one from the corner. Not even close. Rebound here by Mason Williams out of Penn Charter. Leaves it for Croswell. And Ajiri Johnson just lets him go by, and Croswell makes the bucket. And, of course, a lot of these guys on Division I scholarships, Division II players as well. Oh, Johnson with a thunderous slam. I was about to say, you don't want to see anybody get hurt. And I think that's why Johnson just let Croswell go by. Johnson with his second slam of the day.
Yeah, that's why defense is just sort of
not happening
is a
today.
rumor in games like these.
No, don't tell that to Andrew Funk, the future Patriot League member, as the City team on the run, and that three missed by Christian Brown out of Samuel Fells High School in the Public League. Kyle Thompson, the lob, and it's good. And it's 14-6 right now, as I believe the City team here with the early lead. City team in orange, Suburbs in blue, as a drive there by Karan Randolph. And now, about midway through the first quarter, it's time for the wholesale subs. 10 in, 10 out. It's like a hockey line change here today. For the City team, number 5, Charles Carlisle from Friends Select. Peter Guard from Germantown Friends. Darius Kinnell from St. Joseph's Prep. John Kelly from the state champion Roman Catholic Kaolites. And the Suburbs with the ball on a 3-ball from Sean Simon out of LaSalle College High School. And LaSalle's a team that you covered in the PCL. Another solid year from Joe Dempsey and his crew. Very competitive in the PCL.
Yeah, and they did. They were young. They've been young for the last couple of years. They're led by Conrad Kiska, who's a talented junior. He'll be a senior next year. I look for LaSalle to take a major step in the right direction next year. They've been making steps in the right direction, but I expect them to go even further next year.
Well, the PCL was so competitive this year, and you saw that even with St. Joe's Prep as a 7 seed getting to the Palestra. O'Hara, a team on the rise as well. Very competitive, and I anticipate it to be very competitive again this year as Christian Brown out of Samuel Fells lays it up and in.
Yeah, in that PCL, we even saw the city coach, Sean Tate, his team at Father Judge. It didn't do well in the regular season in the Catholic League, but took a lot of teams down to the wire.
Bob Stratz out of Haverford with a slam for the Suburban team. City team leading 16-11, just over 3 minutes remaining here in the first quarter. Darius Kinnell, his pass off of the hands of Carlisle. Suburbs in transition, loses the ball. Kinnell with the steal. Bounce pass to John Kelly, who got the roll. And big John Kelly out of Roman Catholic, who's actually the first baseman on their baseball team. He's in season again here in the spring. He really had some big contributions for the Cahillites in the PCL championship and at the state level as well.
He really did, and that's one of the things that impressed me most about Roman is that we all know that the top 4 players, Lynn Greer, the third, Alan Beatran, Hakeem Hart, and who's the last one I'm forgetting? Seth Lundy.
Seth Lundy. Can't forget Seth Lundy.
Can't forget Seth Lundy. But guys like John Kelly, he just did a lot of things that might not show up on the stat sheet to play physical for you. Sean Simon hits a 3 on the wing. But John Kelly will play physical for you. He'll set hard screens and get those guys open and let them do their thing.
And Simon with the 3 for the Suburban squad as they pull to within 4, 18-14 with just over 2 minutes remaining here in the first quarter. Good drive by Darius Kinnell. Off the glass and good. And the St. Joe's Prep Hawks with the easy layup.
And Darius is one of those kids whose game has grown exponentially. If I had to pick a most improved player, and I might, I'd definitely say it's him. His poise under pressure, his ability to get his own shot and create more for teammates, he definitely improved this year.
And back-to-back threes, one by the Suburban squad's Johanse Garner out of Bonner Prendy. The next by Christian Brown out of Samuel Fells. So it goes back to a 6-point lead for the city. Oh, look out. No shot. And jumping up to try and block the shot and hitting the ground hard was Charles Carlisle out of Friends Select. And again, you do not want to see anybody get hurt today. I know somebody on the Union team had to come out of the game in your game, Ace. That's not what we want to see here today.
There's some bloodshed in the Union game.
Great inbounds pass. Johanse Garner finding Amin Williams out of Plymouth White Marsh High School. His twin brother Ahmad, I believe, is here today on the bench. And now a steal by the Suburbs behind the back. Layup is good for Amin Williams. And Plymouth White Marsh, who was the District 1 champs, fell short. They got upset by Roman Catholic in the state tournament. And I think a lot of people felt like that was an upset, but what a shame for Roman to have to play PW so early in that state tournament.
Yeah, a little bit questionable with the seeding, and that's a tough draw for both teams, really.
Right, exactly.
Simon buries a deep 3.
Wow, Sam Simon out of LaSalle College High School showing the range, and that's the Suburbs' first lead of the game, 24-23 here with 42 seconds and counting remaining here in the first quarter. Kinnell splits the D. Oh, and a weak side or ejection by Bob Stratz out of Haverford. 35 seconds to go. First quarter action here in the boys All-Star game here in the 31st annual All-Star Labor Classic. Alongside Aaron Ace Carter of the Philadelphia Inquirer, Amari Bluestein as we wind down the first quarter of play. Good game so far as the Suburbs lead the city 24-23. Johanse Garner a step back 3 from the wing off the mark. Floorboard by Kinnell. The outlet pass. And a block by Garner from behind, but a foul is called as Christian Brown, the Samuel Fells Panther, will go to the line for 2 with 9.7 seconds remaining. And, the Philadelphia Public League this year, Ace, was so dominated by Imhotep Charter, and sometimes teams like Fells just go unnoticed, but Christian Brown had a pretty solid year for the Fells Panthers.
Yeah, he did. He had a solid season. Just looking at him now, stocky guard, good handle, consummate Philly point guard, streaky from the outside, but he's going to play defense. He's going to be a tough, hard-nosed kid.
And he makes both free throws, so back to a 1-point lead for the City team. And here's a drive. We have a whistle, a little bit of a foul, I believe, on Kinnell. Not a shooting foul. So the clock stopped at 3.1 seconds. Suburbs with a chance to score and retake the lead here at the end of the first quarter. On the cut and the layup up and in for Amin Williams, and the buzzer sounds. And at the end of one, the Suburbs with the lead over the City team, 26-25, here in the 31st annual All-Star Labor Classic.
All right, one quarter in the books as we broadcast to you across the Jacob Media Radio Network on News Talk 990. We're also streaming the game live, so be sure to check that out as well. Game 2 now, moving into the second quarter. We'll take a commercial break and return to the Jacob Media Radio Network back in a moment. And back here live on the Jacob Media Radio Network. It's the 31st annual All-Star Labor Classic. We thank everybody for tuning in to the broadcast. This, for us, kind of culminates and brings to a close our basketball season on the Jacob Media Radio Network. And what a way to end with the 31st annual All-Star Labor Classic. $150,000 check presented in between the girls' All-Star game and the boys' All-Star game, presented to Blossom Philadelphia, formerly of UCP. On the microphone, bringing you all of the play-by-play, Ari Bluestein. Ari.
Thank you very much, Krause, and I'm joined here for the remainder of the second quarter by Ace Carter of the Philadelphia Inquirer, and exciting first quarter there, Ace, and we were going to see some new faces as number 14, Pietro Bergella from Germantown Friends into the game. Chaz Person out of Masterman. Justin Anderson back in the game, and what a follow-up slam. Ajiri Johnson.
That's what he's done all season long. I was fortunate enough to get video of him doing that against St. Joe's Prep. It was actually a game winner at Bonner Prendy.
Look out. He wants to take it coast to coast. The finger roll. Oh, you got to slam it, big man. That's why you missed it. Oh, man. Pull-up three. Short. And over the top on that attempt by Chaz Person out of Masterman. Let's talk about Ajiri Johnson for a moment. He's going to Rider University, which just so happens to be my alma mater, and the Bronx on the rise, and he fits perfectly in the Metro Atlantic Athletic Conference. A lot of high-flying athletic bigs, and I think he's going to have a lot of success at Rider.
I mean, with his game, he fits in perfectly anywhere. With that type of energy, with that kind of balance, he can help a team anywhere in any league at any point in time.
And because of his defensive presence, he's going to step in right away. That's the thing. If you have a big man who's a little tentative on defense, that's the problem. But I think he's going to step in and fill in some minutes right away.
Yeah, I think you're right. And I think that along with the defensive presence, he'll rebound for you too. And with that type of athleticism, if he just commits his mind to getting every rebound, I can see him averaging double-digit rebounds during the course of his career.
Pietro Bergella coming up empty on the three as the Suburban team with all 4 points here to start the second quarter. In traffic, Karan Randolph, the kick out. This is Ahmad Williams, the other twin from PW. Tip in up and good from Justin Anderson of Archbishop Carroll, who had, of course, what you don't want to have in an All-Star game, a missed dunk. But, Anderson and Archbishop Carroll, they had a great year, and they're going to have a lot of guys back, like A.J. Hogard. I know Anderson's gone as a senior, but a lot of promise as Anderson goes through and misses the layup. But Archbishop Carroll is going to be a team to be reckoned with next year.
Absolutely. Luke House will come back, and some of those big guys will be there. Kyrie Kettner will be there. He had some good minutes for Carroll for the Patriots this season. here and there, spot minutes. He'd get a big rebound, make a big block, a couple baskets here and there. I think you're absolutely right. Carroll should be. I expect them to be at the top of the Catholic League, around the top.
Yeah, I would definitely say top 4. I think Sam Sissoms gets the steal, picks the pocket of Noah Lindsay out of New Foundations. And how about Sessoms seeing a little bit of what he can do?
It's a grown man finish right there. Finish with contact.
I think he's going to have a lot of success as a Binghamton Bearcat, that is for sure. But as we have another steal, Karan Randolph can't save it with a little hustle. Seen a little more defense than we thought here, Ace.
Yeah, absolutely. And that's indicative of Karan Randolph. That's what he does. He's such a nice kid. Really respectful. Always greets you with a handshake and a smile. Always looks you right in the eye, which is sometimes rare.
Layup up and good for Chaz Person out of Masterman High School in the Philadelphia Public League. Coming forward is Ahmad Williams, stripped and stolen. City team trying to make a run to get back in fourth. Here comes Noah Lindsay. Bergella. Triple good. Chaz Person drilling it from Masterman. Back to a 6-point advantage. Jumper good for Karan Randolph. And, a lot of these guys, you think about the PIAA, a lot of these guys coming from the PESA, coming from the Friends League and the Interac. I would love to see the PIAA champ take on the PESA champ, at least locally here in Philly, like the best team from the Interac take on the best team from the Catholic League for the rights to own the city title.
Yeah, I'd absolutely love that. I'd actually like the different classifications to play each other and have one classification.
Ooh, yes, that's what the Tournament of Champions in Jersey.
Right.
See a little bit of that as well. So going to the line after being fouled was Ahmad Williams, and we're going to have some more substitutions. As Ahmad Williams comes to the line, I want to pick up on that Catholic League conversation. You look ahead to next year, Bonner brings back the MVP of the league, Isaiah Wong, as well as Tariq Ingram, big man. Roman Catholic brings back Seth Lundy and Lynn Greer, all those guys you mentioned. Carroll brings back some players. LaSalle, they might be a team to step up. I think that you're looking at that as maybe your top 4 in the PCL. And in addition, Newman Goretti, of course, brings back a ton of young talent.
Right, absolutely. You'll have as competitive as it was this season. I think it'll be even more competitive next season. You're going to have a talented group of seniors. This year, it's that junior class that's got studs from all over the city. You're talking about Isaiah Wong at Bonner,
right.
Donta Scott at Imhotep.
Yes.
Such a talented group of juniors right now that'll be seniors next season. I think Philadelphia basketball is going to be good for a couple more years.
Alan Beatran with the ball coming into the game for the city team. Kick out and a deep 3 off the mark there for Kyle Thompson. Croswell with the save, but it goes to the Suburban team. And here's another 3 for Sean Simon, who has been on fire, his 4th 3 of the game. My goodness. Croswell in the post. And his pass was stolen by Amin Williams of PW.
Yeah, drop that back. Heat check.
Heat check indeed as Simon misses the 3. And we'll stay with the Suburbs, who has a 12-point lead, thanks in large part to Sean Simon. Also coming into the game from Lansdale Catholic, Jack Custers, the Lansdale Catholic Crusader. Simon again, off the mark. And Amin Williams trying to save it, but Beatran has it. Beatran lost it, trying to go between the legs. Coming back the other way, Johanse Garner down the lane and fouled. So 42-30, and this game was close early on, but the second unit here for the Suburban team, particularly led by Sean Simon and then Ajiri Johnson with some slams, really taking over this game right now.
Yeah, it doesn't matter if it's an all-star game or not, but when you have guys that make electricity plays like that, like Ajiri with the tip dunk and then Sean Simon with threes, that gives you momentum. Whether or not the crowd gets behind you or it's a home game or not, that gives you momentum for players on the court.
The thing I see, and you can't really see it on the live stream, and of course you can't see it here on 990 AM, but a lot of players here in this boys game showing up. And, at this point in the year, your season's done. You just want to, pack it in, get ready to play in college like a lot of these guys are. Great turnout, and I think that shows you what this game is all about, that these players know how important this All-Star Labor Classic is as Kyle Thompson hits the 3.
Yeah, there's a lot of tradition here. There's a lot of guys that have come before you and played here, and so just, out of respect, I'd like to see guys show up, and they have today.
They certainly have, as said, both benches are really full of orange and blue jerseys as that shot is missed. Alan Beatran with the rebound. City trying to make a comeback here at the end of the second, and Croswell with a nice soft slam. That's a gentleman's slam dunk. 6 points for Croswell. 8-point lead for the Suburbs. They've got the ball. 3 from Amin Williams off the mark. Offensive rebound by Bob Stratz out of Haverford. And the Suburbs will keep it. Here's Custers out of Lansdale Catholic, a deep 2. And Custers drilling it. And you look at the Lansdale Catholic Crusaders, they're usually in the bottom tier of the PCL, but still not a bad basketball team.
No, it's a team that has some close games this season. Like I said, like we've talked about, the Catholic League, man, top to bottom, there isn't an easy out. There's not an easy out.
That's true, and even West Catholic had a strong year. As speaking of strong, Croswell taking it to the bucket. My goodness, how far he's come. I remember watching him in the state championship game. It was a coming out party, actually state semifinal, I should say, against Constitution. He really had a phenomenal game and then turned into a really nice player as a St. Joe's Prep Hawk, playing some nice D on Bob Stratz as well. And it's just amazing. Again, he's a guy you followed, you've seen him develop. I mean, and a really great young gentleman.
We're going to have a little one-on-one bottle.
Oh, I love it. Croswell and Stratz. Croswell missing it, gets Stratz up in the air, and a nice little gentlemanly layup from Croswell, who's in double figures.
Yeah, you're right. And Eddie's one of those kids. He's a really nice kid. You can tell he worked hard in his game, and you love to see that. When guys work hard and improve themselves, improve their games. And Danny Jackson at MCNS did a great job with him also. And then he went to Speedy Morris at St. Joe's Prep. They really, all of those coaches really helped develop his game.
Oh, he's had the opportunity to play with one of the best older coaches in the city as Beatran drills a deep 3. It's Speedy Morris, one of the best older coaches in the league, and then one of the best young coaches in the city in Danny Jackson. 5-point game after Beatran's deep 3. Suburbs with the ball, leading 47-42. Under a minute remaining here in the first half. Stratz gets the loose ball inside to Williams. Beatran with the block on Amin Williams, but Williams takes it right away from Croswell and he lays it up and in.
This is what I like to see now. It's starting to get a little more intense. There's a little more defense being played. Guys are starting to take pride in it. Both benches are up and cheering their teams on. It's like an exciting finish for the second half.
30 seconds remaining here in the second quarter. Thompson pull up 3, top of the key, a little too strong. Fighting for the rebound, and into the game is Drew Riley out of Father Judge. Gets it, dumps it off to Croswell, and a nice little layup up and in. Back to a 5-point game. Suburbs with the ball. Custers up across the timeline. Leaves it. Simon, a deep 3 from the wing, and he has cooled off after a hot start. Croswell with the rebound. 5 seconds remain, and his pass is stolen by Garner. Simon at the buzzer. No good. Not sure if it would have counted anyway, but what a finish here in the second quarter. It's getting exciting. And as we send it over to Kraus before we do, I want to say goodbye to Aaron Ace Carter joining us here for the first half. Ace, thanks so much for joining us here on this broadcast.
Thanks for having me. Always a pleasure.
Good stuff by Ace Carter joining us up in the booth. I look forward, Ari, next year to being on the bench during the media game. Now that I have new knees, I look forward to playing in the media game next year. Don't think so, but good work by you. We are at halftime of the boys all-star game. We'll take a 60-second commercial because we're going to come back and we're going to talk with Dennis Hill. So we're going to take a short 60-second break and then return. You're listening to the 31st Annual All-Star Labor Classic across the Jacob Media Radio Network. Back in a moment. Broadcast to you on News Talk 990 across the Jacob Media Radio Network. We're at the University of the Sciences, Bobby Morgan Arena. We are at halftime of the boys' All-Star game where the Suburban boys have a 5-point lead over the city team, 49-44. Game 2 of 2. The girls' All-Star game was before. Time to introduce you to the man who puts it all together. These two full rosters of the boys' All-Stars and the girls' All-Stars. They don't just show up, on Sunday, April 8th at University of the Sciences and say, hey, I'm interested in playing in the All-Star game. Dennis Hill joining us on the live broadcast. And Dennis, you did it again, my friend. Oops, you did it again. Well done, my friend.
Well, thank you, Joe. Thank you and the staff for everything you do for us during the year and especially today. The players out there today, we're very happy. Mostly all of them will be going to college. I had some college coaches here today, and they're talking to some of the boys and girls about continuing their education. We have one young man from Mastbaum High School. We're going to work with getting him into trade schools with labor unions. We're going to work with him there.
Wow, that's fantastic.
But it's about the young people, and it's about what we do for Blossom Philadelphia. When you see the young people, today I was fortunate to be able to be assistant coach on the girls team, City Girls, and to go out there and those young people in the wheelchairs with their disabilities, your heart fills up.
Denny, these guys get it, and these girls get it that play in this basketball game. They get it. This is more than just a basketball game, and I think that comes down to some of the criteria that you have defined in terms of character, in terms of skill, in terms of leadership. All of that is clear and evident in each one of these players.
Well, that's what we look for, Joe. I go out, I see approximately 180 games a year, and in seeing 180 games, I look for the player who's got the heart, who cares about other people. When even their opponent goes to the floor, they help their opponent up in the circumstance. I don't want the superstar who thinks he's better than everybody and just ignores everybody on the court. He yells at the officials and all. That's not what we're looking for in this game. It's about positive people with positive energy, and that's what we want.
180 games.
Yep.
Think about that, as I always ask the radio listening audience to use their theater of the mind. 180 basketball games have gone in. That's the body of work that has gone into the presentation today. Man, that's amazing stuff.
Well, it's both the Labor Classic and the William Marquardt Basketball Club of Philadelphia that we run, which we just completed our 72nd year. So it's about the young people, and we care, and I love this game.
I know you do, Danny.
But hell, these young people out here today showed me character. This is the future generation, and this is what we want in this country.
Dennis Hill joining us here on News Talk 990. He is, or does represent, basketball in this great city of Philadelphia and what basketball means. And on display, of course, today is all of the good work that has gone into the All-Star Labor Classic. And Denny, I've been with you along the timeline this year again. It's not an easy timeline. There's a lot of checks and balances. There's a lot of work that has to be done. There's a lot of that goes into the uniform selection, that goes into the player selection, that goes into the money and scholarships that the players receive. And then, of course, it all culminates with the $150,000 check presentation, which took place between the girls' game and the boys' game.
That's what it's about. And we're helping those people, the people with disabilities, and that's what we care about. And we really do. I thank the labor unions for support. Top shelf. John Doherty, Ray Miller, Tide Heiding. Couldn't ask for anything more. They asked me to come on board a few years ago, and I came on board. And I told them, I says, I'll do it with you, but we got to work together. And that we all work together. And I thank the Lord every day
Well, Denny, I know when I walked in here today in the upper atrium of the Bobby Morgan Arena is the history of the All-Star Labor Classic that, of course, goes back to as long as when the games first started being played at the Spectrum and moving through the Delaware Valley, and of course now coming to the University of the Sciences, where Wayne Miller, who was on in between games, raved about the staff here at the University of the Sciences. They really helped put on a good first-class event today.
Excellent. Even down to the canteen there was run by girls who played in the game, who played for University of Science. Now the girls basketball team ran that with the hot dogs and the pretzels. Everybody worked together, and that's the important thing. To make something a success, you work together.
Well, on behalf of the entire basketball community, on behalf of the entire Delaware Valley, on behalf of the entire listening audience on News Talk 990 and those watching on the stream on Facebook Live, and on behalf of all of these athletes from both games, the boys and the girls, Dennis Hill, thank you, because without you, this game would not have executed the way it has. A job well done by you. Countless hours, unconditional commitment on your part. Yes, my friend, you can finally rest after this after the second half of the basketball game.
Well, after that, Joe, I got 2 more weeks, and I'll be sitting in North Wildwood.
There you go. Good stuff, Dennis.
I'll be back in October.
All right, good stuff, Dennis.
Thank you,
joining
Joe.
us.
I appreciate everything you did for us. Larry, everybody. You did a great job.
I do it with great pleasure. Dennis Hill joining us here on the Jacob Media Radio Network as we come to you on News Talk 990. Halftime, the boys All-Star game. The Suburban Boys have a 5-point lead over the City Boys, 49-44. We'll take a 60-second commercial break and get Ari Bluestein back on the microphone. Back in a moment. All-Star Labor Classic across the Jacob Media Radio Network, broadcasting you on News Talk 990 on a Sunday afternoon in the Delaware Valley, where there's so many great things happening around the city of Philadelphia. Of course, the Villanova Parade, which happened down in Center City a few days ago. Big win by the 76ers over LeBron against the Cavaliers, and all kind of basketball activity. And I put this in the same category, Ari, for the simple reason that when you get together a bunch of great student athletes and they come together on this floor and they generate $150,000 for Blossom Philadelphia, they should be saluted to the highest regard.
I totally agree, Joe Kraus, and I think that, this is a really great time for Philadelphia sports, and this event should definitely be no different. You have some of the great players in the city and in the surrounding suburbs as Amin Williams makes the first bucket. Suburbs putting on a little full-court press, and Williams missing the layup after getting the steal. But this has been a phenomenal day. It's our final 2 quarters of basketball. We had the Union versus the Media game first up. Then we started broadcasting the girls' game around 1 o'clock. Great game there. A lot of great talent. And then same goes here for the boys' game as well, as the Suburbs with a 5-point lead. And the City team moving from left to right in the orange jerseys, and the Suburban team in the blue jerseys moving from right to left. And now here's a floater on the run, no good, from Charles Carlisle. And here's in transition, Amin Williams gets it inside to Bob Stratz. 3, and it's off the mark from Sean Simon, who had made his first 4 attempts, but since then has gone a little cold. In transition, nice little reverse layup up and in from Christian Brown. City team now within 3, 51-48. Johanse Garner hits the triple. The Bonner Prendy Fryer, Johanse Garner makes it a 6-point game. Fadeaway jumper, no good from Christian Brown. And here comes Sean Simon the other way from LaSalle College High School. He pulls up for another 3, and he goes glass. The bank is open here on a Sunday afternoon in West Philadelphia. And it's a 9-point advantage for the Suburban team. Pull-up jumper, no good from Peter Gard out of Germantown Friends. First time we're seeing him in the ball game. Garner lost it off his foot. Picked up Williams for 3, short. Outlet down to John Kelly out of Roman Catholic, who lays it up and in. Second bucket for 4 points for John Kelly.
I love John Kelly. Going back to the PCL game, hard-working on the floor, running the floor, and getting the job done. Nice job, John Kelly.
And he's still hustling here, and he's not done for sports for his Roman Catholic career. He's playing first base for the Caholites this spring. As Darius Kittle with a spin move and a layup, and it's a 5-point lead for the Suburbs. They've got the basketball. Simon, a deep 3 again. This one is off the mark, and Kittle just lets the ball trickle out of bounds into the stands here at Bobby Morgan Arena on the campus of the University of the Sciences. You're listening to the 31st Annual All-Star Labor Classic here across the Jacob Media Radio Network. Kittle lost his footing, but was still able to put up a shot. And now nearly stolen away from Bob Stratz. In transition, here's a 3, and it's good for Amin Williams. Oh, no, check that, Ahmad Williams. So Ahmad Williams hitting the 3 for the Suburbs. 8-point advantage for the team in blue. Just under 5 minutes remaining here in the third. Triple no good for Christian Brown out of Fells. Rebound by Jack Custers, the Lansdale Catholic Crusader. Stepping up for a deep 3 again, off the glass and good by Ahmad Williams. Back-to-back 3s for him. 11-point advantage for the Suburbs. Into the corner, it's Carlisle missing the 3. Charles Carlisle the third out of Friends Select. Behind the back pass. That triple is no good for Amin Williams. He actually got hit and went to the ground, no whistle called. And Kittle lost the ball, got it knocked away, and knocked down one of our poster boards in the process down on the baseline. Just about midway through the third quarter, 4:14 remaining in the frame. And wholesale substitutions, 10 in, 10 out, it looks like, for both squads. City team bringing in Corey Davis Combs out of Mastbaum in the Public League. Tom Quarry out of Father Judge. Pietro Bergil out of Germantown Friends, as that 3 is way off the mark for Ahmad Williams, but Ajiri Johnson with the rebound, and the 3 is good for Koran Randolph out of Haverford. Andrew Funk and Sam Sessoms also back in for the Suburban team, as they lead it by 14, 66-52. Strong drive and one for Corey Davis Combs out of Jules Mastbaum. Mastbaum in the Philadelphia Public League. As we see a few representatives from the pub here today. So Davis Combs at the line. Makes it and completes the old-fashioned 3-point play. Suburbs gets it back, and they are up 11, 66-55. Sam Sessoms, the Shipley Gator, dribbling around, pulling up, deep 3, hit it. Wow, Sam Sessoms showing off the moves and showing off the range. And now, the man he hit the 3 over, Corey Davis Combs, wants it back for a chance to get Sessoms back. He pulls up for 3. Oh, and he hits it! And these players on the bench absolutely love it. Oh my God, this is a lot of fun. Here's Sessoms again. And he pulls up for three. This one's off the mark. Rebound by the City squad, and Davis Combs gets it back. Back and forth we go as the point guard for the City and Suburban team going at it. Fade away. Davis Combs missed it. Nearly chased down his own rebound, and now a fight for it. Bergala on the floor, but getting it back is the Suburban team. Oh, and Randolph throwing it away. And a quick timeout here for substitutions as Justin Anderson out of Archbishop Carroll checking back into the game. And as we talked about with Aaron Carter of the Philadelphia Inquirer, he was saying, you know what, they're competitive but also having a lot of fun. It is, after all, an all-star game, all for charity. Steal by the Suburban team on the run, and here is Ahmad Williams missing the layup. Oh, boy. Coming away with it is Tom Quarry. Oh, and his pocket was picked by Sam Sessoms, who lays it up and in nice and easy. 71-58 is your score. Suburbs leading over to City All-Stars. Another three, and not getting the bounce was Corey Davis Combs. Offensive rebound for the City by Pietro Bergella. Into the corner. This is Corey Stewart from Masterman, and he drills the first shot that he takes. It's a three from the corner. 10-point lead for the Suburbs. Under 2 to play here in the third. Sessoms up and under. Got the bounce. Went right around Pietro Bergella. 73-61. Corey Davis Combs shaking and baking. Guarded by Sessoms. These two have gone at it all quarter. Oh, and Davis Combs nearly lost it, but then gets the back, missing the free throw jumper, gets his own rebound, and then threw it away in his attempt to pass it to Pietro Bergella underneath the basket. 1:25 to play here in the third. Suburban team in front by 12, 73-61. Sam Sessoms, the lob for Johnson, who throws it down. Johnson's had about 5 slams, but that one was probably the best yet. The future Rider Bronca, Jerry Johnson, now with 10 points. Substitution as Sessoms checks out after putting on a clinic here in the third. Just over a minute remaining. City with the ball down by 14. Quarry for three, short. Rebound by Ahmad Williams out of Plymouth White Marsh High School. On the run, Funk, kick out, three, good. For Karan Randolph out of Haverford. 78-61, Suburbs well in front. 37 seconds and counting remaining here in the third as Quarry hits the three for the City squad. First bucket for the senior Father Judge Crusader. Deep three for Justin Anderson, and he's got the answer. The Carroll Patriot drilling his first three of the day. 81-64 as we look well on our way to triple digits here in the All-Star Labor Classic. That jumper no good. Funk gets the rebound up ahead, and a nice easy finger roll for Ahmad Williams. 83-64, a 19-point lead for the Suburbs. And now Johnson gets the steal, but time runs out here in the third quarter. So we've got 8 more minutes of basketball remaining here in the 31st Annual All-Star Labor Classic as the Suburban All-Stars leading the City All-Stars here in the boys game, 83-64.
Raining 3 balls in the third quarter here as we broadcast to you from the University of the Sciences at the Bobby Morgan Arena. We'll take a short commercial break. We'll return to the Jacob Media Radio Network with the start of the fourth quarter back in a moment. Talk 990 across the Jacob Media Radio Network. 3 quarters in the books. as the Suburban boys open up an 83-64 lead over the City team here in the 31st Annual All-Star Labor Classic, all presented by the Philadelphia Building Trades. The man behind the microphone calling all the play-by-play. Do you have a quarter left in you, Ari Bluestein, voice of Philadelphia basketball?
I sure do. I mean, I did 6 games in a week for the PCL playoffs, so I think I've got another quarter left.
This is easy stuff.
This is nothing, and it's nice and relaxed. Beautiful cause, $150,000 check presented. Blossom Philadelphia doing a great job, formerly UCP, and it's just been a great day and a lot of fun as well, as the Suburban team looks like they're on their way to a victory, but you never know. The City team could go on a run as Kyle Thompson makes the layup for the City squad. And the Suburban team with the lead, 83-68. They've got the ball back as Garner kicks it out to Sean Simon, who takes his time and dusts off the ball and makes the 3 after Beatrand went flying by on a pump fake. Sean Simon, his 6th 3 of the afternoon. 86-68, City down. Beatrand missing the layup on the drive. Stratz with the rebound. Out of Haverford, leaves it for Simon, pump fake, this time he gets Croswell to go by, and he drills another one! And the Suburban players on the bench explode and celebrate. Sean Simon looking like J.J. Redick out here at U Sciences. 89-68, 6:40 to play. Beatrand with the ball for the City team, trailing by 21 points. Thompson with the answer. Kyle Thompson making another shot. He's had a nice game today. The former St. Joe Prep Hawk. Making a move is Amin Williams. Step back, fade away, no good. Defensive rebound by Kyle Thompson for the City team. The lob up for Beatrand, and he couldn't finish. Rebound by Amin Williams. Simon steps into a deep 3. Short. A little bit of a heat check there for Sean Simon. Croswell all alone slams it down with 2 hands. 89-73 is your score. Certainly not over yet, and you would think the City team wants to make this a little bit closer with 5:45 remaining here in the 4th quarter. Into the corner, it's a Custer's 3, no good. Offensive rebound by Stratz. He has to kick it out. It's going to be a Johanse Garner deep 3, no good. Rebound by Noah Lindsay out of New Foundations Charter. He pulls up for 3 in transition, short. Stratz with the rebound. Garner, the leaner in the lane, short, got his own miss. The kick out. Custer's corner 3, short. Garner with another rebound. Spin move around Thompson. And Johanse Garner with a nice little move. And now the City team trailing 91-73. 5 minutes remaining here in the 4th. City team with the basketball. Beatrand left alone for 3, right wing, no good. Rebound by Amin Williams. Williams goes in, lays it up and in. 93-73, 20-point advantage for the Suburban All-Stars. Here's an outside shot. Drew Riley from Father Judge hits it from the left wing. Suburban team still way in front, 93-76. And the way the pace has slowed a little bit, I think we need some substitutions. Get these guys a breather. Beatrand, oh, he doesn't need a break. He slams it down with one hand. Substitution timeout. 10 in, 10 out for the Suburban team. Sam Sessoms, Ahmad Williams, Andrew Funk, Karan Randolph, Justin Anderson return. For the City team, Darius Kinnell, Christian Brown, Charles Carlisle III, Mason Williams, and Peter Guard, all in for the City squad. Sam Sessoms, who really put on a clinic in the 3rd, step back 3, can't get the bounce. Rebound by Kinnell. Christian Brown out of Samuel Fells High School pulls up for 3, air ball. Funk grabs it before it goes out of bounds. Suburbs with the ball and the lead, 93-78. Transition 3, no good for Ahmad Williams, but Sessoms with the offensive rebound. He's left all alone in the corner. He's going to take it. Missed it. Kittle with the board for the City team. On the run, step through around Randolph, missed the layup, offensive rebound, and the putback is good for Charles Carlisle III out of Friends Select High School. 93-80. 3:18 remaining here in this All-Star game. You're listening to the 31st annual All-Star Labor Classic live from the University of the Sciences Bobby Morgan Arena here in West Philadelphia as Carlisle III lays it up and in transition. 3 minutes to go. City down 11. Deep three for Karan Randolph, no good. Carlisle with the rebound. He's going to step into a deep three in transition. Can't get the bounce. Rebound by Anderson of the Suburban team. Sam Sessoms. Williams back to Sessoms, who lays it up and in nice and easy. 95-82. Suburban team up by 13. 2.5 to play. Kinnell. No good on the three in transition for the City All-Stars. Sessoms with a rebound. Outside to Andrew Funk. His first shot attempt of the game, and it's no good. Anderson with the follow-up. He couldn't get the slam, but he was able to tip it up anyway, and it went into the bucket. So with 2:17 remaining, quick substitution timeout. Ajiri Johnson, the high-flying Friar from Bonner Prendy, back into the game. Suburbs up 15. Easy deuce for Christian Brown. Quick whistle. And it's going back to the City team. I think it was an inbound violation there on the Suburb team, and the official just having a little fun with these guys. Trying to give the City team a little help to get back into this game. Kinnell with the layup. 11-point lead for the Suburbs. Under 2 minutes remaining. Ajiri Johnson, reverse slam! And Ajiri Johnson continuing to pile up the highlight reel. 99-86. We're 1 point away from 100 for the Suburban squad. Deep three, no good for Christian Brown. Johnson has it. Let's see if we can get to triple digits here. $1.50 remaining. Funk leaves it for Johnson, who slams it down. 101 now for the Suburban All-Stars. And Ajiri Johnson having some fun flying above the rim. Charles Carlisle III with the layup for the City team. 101-88 as we approach the final minute here of the 31st annual All-Star Labor Classic presented by Blossom Philadelphia. Sessoms went to go off glass, and it wasn't a clean alley-oop look, but Johnson was able to finish nonetheless. Kinnell, step up, transition three is good. 103-91. Suburban team still well in front, 45 seconds remain. Karan Randolph, step back, missed the three, rebound by Kinnell. On the run, Christian Brown, missed it. Rebound comes out to Peter Gard from Germantown Friends. Scramble for it. And Peter Gard and Sam Sessoms going at it. Two players in the Friends League. City team gets it back with 24 seconds remaining. Here in the fourth quarter, Suburban team is going to sweep this one. Suburbs beat the City Girls earlier. And with a score 103-93, Sam Sessoms might dribble out. Oh, no, it's an alley-oop to Johnson. Hello! Reverse alley-oop slam for Ajiri Johnson to put the cherry on top of an amazing day here at U Sciences. At the buzzer, the three is no good for Christian Brown. Your final score, Suburbs 105, City team 93. At the end of the day, it's all about the charity, $150,000 raised by Blossom Philadelphia, and a great day of basketball across the Jacob Media Radio Network.
Raised for Blossom Philadelphia by the Philadelphia Building Trades. Again, great day here at the University of the Sciences. We'll take our final commercial break of the broadcast. We'll come back, and Ari Bluestein and I will put a bow on what has been a spectacular afternoon here on across the Jacob Media Radio Network. Back in a moment. Sciences at Bobby Morgan Arena. We welcome everybody back into the Jacob Media Radio Network, and what a spectacular afternoon it has been here for the 31st Annual All-Star Labor Classic. And again, Ari, I think you were right on the money, and it's been the theme of the entire day and the entire afternoon, but right on the money. $150,000 check being presented to Blossom Philadelphia, and of course that representing 100% of the proceeds being generated. Big shout out to the entire union community and the Philadelphia building trades. Oh my, what a great day it was.
It really was, and it was a lot of fun. I mean, the boys game, you had the high flying dunks of Ajiri Johnson and the deep threes from Sean Simon. In the girls game, great team basketball, balanced scoring attack from a lot of the players, especially from the Philadelphia Catholic League. But you're right, Krause, it's all about the charity in the end, and I think the thing that makes this game so special is 100% of the proceeds going to the charity. A lot of time you think about charity, yeah, maybe 75%, 50% to cover expenses, but no, 100%. And we had a great turnout here at Bobby Morgan Arena and U Sciences, and saw a lot of great basketball players who you're going to see in college next year and maybe one day in the NBA. A lot of great talent here in Philadelphia.
And of course, at halftime of the boys' game, I know you were off microphone, so I don't know if you had an opportunity to digest or to consume the conversation that I had with Dennis Hill, who is the author behind the rosters that played today. Dennis breaking out in tears during the broadcast. Just goes to show you, in his words, I love Philadelphia basketball.
Yeah, he certainly does. What a great man. I love seeing him every year at the Palestra for the Philadelphia Catholic League Championships, seeing him here the last few years since I've been involved here with the Jacob Media Radio Network here for the All-Star Labor Classic. Great man. A legend in Philadelphia sports, just the name alone. Dennis Hill, you know it. And, he puts the rosters together, but there's a lot of people that make this day possible, and it's an honor for myself to be a part of it. And it's great that we can stream this live on SFBN.live, and then, of course, here across the Jacob Media Radio Network as well. And, Krause, as always, it's been an honor to work with you, and thank you so much for having me and for having the Sports Fan Base Network as well.
All right, good job by the crew here this afternoon. And, of course, Ari, great job by you on all of the play-by-play. Special shout-out to Rich Henkels, who wanted to be here today but was unable to be here because of a prior commitment, and we missed Rich in the broadcast booth today. As we go to our closing break or our closing goodbye, I just want to thank again and recognize John Doherty, business manager of the Philadelphia Building and Construction Trades Council, Pat Eiding, president of the Philadelphia Council of the AFL-CIO, Wayne Miller, business manager, Sprinkler Fitters Local Union 692, Pat Gillespie, retired business manager of the Philadelphia Building and Construction Trades Council, and of course, Dennis Hill. That's going to do it for the live broadcast today here across the Jacob Media Radio Network on News Talk 990 for Ari Bluestein, who brought you all of the play-by-play and all of the action. For Walt, our producer, back in the studio, and for the SFBN crew who did a great job on site today. I'm Joe Krause. See you next time, everybody.